It's Tuesday, June 2nd. Today, looking for answers after a tragedy. A Manitoba family wants to know why their 9-year-old child died days after they say she broke her arm in a sledding accident. Also, new details in a dramatic hostage-taking in Winnipeg. What we're learning about the victims and the series of events that ended in a fatal shooting. Plus, why one man is at odds with the city over an untrimmed boulevard and the cheeky way he's attracting attention to the issue. Your Morning Winnipeg starts right now. Good morning, Manitoba. It is Tuesday, 6 a.m. Thank you so much for being with us here on Your Morning Winnipeg. Now, Ainsley McPhail traveled to Oakhammock Marsh this morning. There's lots going on there. It's not quite summer, but they have a lot of different programs, workshops, activities to get outside and enjoy the marsh itself and some of the creatures that live around there. So we're going to have that throughout the morning, but it's a good day to be outside again today, Terry.
I think so. You know, I was just talking to our audio guy, Kevin, too, this morning. I'm like, yesterday wasn't warm enough.
It was?
It was 26 degrees. Yeah. It was still well above seasonal. And as I was out for a walk, I was like, oh, I don't like this. Well, you'll probably like today a little bit more, so I think I will too. Temperatures will be on the rise again. Yes, yesterday was above seasonal. Maybe it was the extra clouds and the lack of sunshine, which we could in fact see again today, although there will be some sunshine throughout a good chunk of the day before those heavier clouds move in and perhaps bring some storms. It's 16 degrees to kick off the morning. Northeast winds 9 clicks. The pressure is rising and the humidity sitting at 77%. How spoiled we get with this stretch of warm weather. And last week I was like, oh, it's too much. I am such a Goldilocks character here because yesterday at 26 degrees, I wanted it to be warmer. Well, it will be a few degrees warmer today, and on the clearer side, at least to kick things off, you can see very clear conditions through northern Manitoba, parts of the southeast, a few clouds building up here in the southwest. That'll be the first place to see those storms today. The Futurecast will kind of show us how things will play out. And yes, southwestern Manitoba, a little bit of activity right along that most northern border. But southwestern Manitoba will see that activity kind of through midday. Into the evening time is when we have a better chance. Maybe around supper time. I think a lot of stuff will just kind of like give us a little kiss of precipitation around supper time. But then overnight, take a look at that, passing right directly over the city. So storms could wake us up in the overnight hours, lingering through parts of northern Manitoba throughout the day tomorrow. And all along this eastern border, we're still going to be seeing some of that precipitation. Again, much needed precipitation. Storms maybe not ideal, but we'll get it in whatever form we get it in. Was that some weird cloud that popped up? Anyway, I'll take a look at that next time. I'm going to run out of time here. So storms for the next couple of days, slight bit of a cool down, but there you can see it heats up again as we're looking ahead to the weekend.
Thank you, Terry. A Manitoba family wants to know why their 9-year-old child died days after they say she broke her arm in a sledding accident. Relatives are questioning the treatment Mary Bull Sinclair received at the Dauphin Hospital. CTV's Jeff Kill reports.
9-year-old Mary Jeanette Miley Bull Sinclair's family says she broke her arm sledding. She died 5 days later. Now, her loved ones want answers into her death.
Never did we think this activity would end in tragedy.
From Ochi-Chaco-Sipi First Nation, Mary's family says on March 16th, she broke her arm in a tobogganing accident. And it sounded serious.
An ambulance came to get her. The paramedics told Mary's mom to get ready for a potential trip to Children's Hospital in Winnipeg.
Instead, they say she was sent to Dauphin's Regional Hospital, where her arm was put in a sling, not a cast, and she was sent home. But the pain was so bad, they say Mary had to sleep sitting up. The family says a couple days later, she returned to the hospital, only to be sent home again with Tylenol and Advil.
She stayed home in pain. Mary and her mother, Serena, cried together.
Then on the 21st, they say Mary's chest appeared discolored, and she was sleeping on her broken arm. Her mom checked on her.
This is when she cried out for help as she noticed Mary's fingers were turning purple and fluid was coming out of her mouth and her nose.
An ambulance was called, but it was too late. The family says they are speaking out to get answers about her treatment.
Many First Nations families continue to report experiences where they feel their concerns have been minimized, dismissed.
In a statement to CTV News, Health Minister Uzoma Asaguera says the medical examiner is doing an in-depth autopsy, and the RCMP is also investigating the circumstances around Mary's death. Plus, the children's advocate could review the case too. The minister says out of respect for these investigations, it would be inappropriate to comment on the specific circumstances of Mary's care. The death of a child is a tragedy, and we understand why Mary's family is seeking answers.
Mary is going to rest in peace once justice is served for her.
Jeff Keel, CTV News, Winnipeg.
The Prairie Mountain Health Region says it does not provide comment related to any client or patient's personal health information or care. A firefighter was taken to hospital while battling an overnight blaze in southwest Winnipeg this weekend. The city says crews were called to a commercial building in the 1500 block of Seal Avenue around 11 Sunday night. That's near the corner of McGillivray Boulevard and Waverly Street. They managed to bring it under control within about 4 hours, but at some point, a firefighter was taken to hospital in stable condition. The cause is still under investigation. A majority of Winnipeg drivers stopped as part of the Don't Drive High campaign earlier this year were impaired. That's according to a new report which says during the campaign in the first 4 months of the year, police conducted 258 stops, which resulted in 112 drug screening tests. It says 63% of those tested were under the influence of drugs. Police also reported 74 drug-impaired driving offenses during the first quarter and 175 alcohol-impaired offenses. Winnipeg police were involved in fewer use of force encounters and shootings last year. Another report shows police used force in 780 instances in 2025, representing 0.31% of all calls they were sent to. That's 30 fewer than the 5-year average and the lowest rate since 2021. Officers were also involved in 2 shootings resulting in 1 fatality. That's compared to a 5-year average of 4 shootings and 3 fatalities. Both reports will be presented during Friday's police board meeting. Prime Minister Mark Carney has announced the launch of a National Unity Council to help tackle rising anti-Semitism in this country.
The Council has a clear mission to combat racism and hate in all their forms. Our actions must be local. And they start with clearly admitting that Canada's civic compact is failing Jewish Canadians. And they extend to all Canadians.
Carney spoke at one of Toronto's oldest synagogues just weeks after members of the city's Jewish community were shot at with a replica gun. Minister of Culture Mark Miller will lead the council, which will include former Olympic gold medalist Katrina Lemaidon, tasked with studying what's causing the surge in anti-Semitism and improve data collection on hate incidents. A new report finds Manitoba is faring better than its prairie counterparts in managing poverty, despite serious gaps in some areas.
Minus from a D- means that there's been progress.
That's the overall grade Food Banks Canada gives Manitoba in its 2026 poverty report card. Improvements were made in income spent on fixed costs and housing affordability. The 37% of Manitobans who felt worse off than last year is also an improvement from the 41% in 2025. However, Manitoba doesn't fare as well for food insecurity or its poverty rate. Accessing healthcare along with government supports, which don't keep up with inflation, were also noted as negatives. The province received an F on all those fronts.
Still, the majority of folks that are accessing our services are accessing employment and income assistance rates, which is a social safety net that is provided by the government that's still inadequate.
That's one of the areas Harvest Manitoba and Food Banks Canada is calling for change. Canada was given a D+ overall grade, while Quebec received the highest provincial grade at a C. Canada's men's soccer team defeated Uzbekistan in a friendly match in Edmonton with just over a week to go until the World Cup.
Influential here. Oluwaseyi for Jonathan Osorio through the keeper and in.
Jonathan Osorio scored the first goal for Canada, who went on to win 2-0. Thousands of fans braved low temperatures and lots of rain. Unsurprisingly, it seems like everyone in Brazil is good at soccer. Altina is a game in itself in Brazil, as players do everything they can to keep the ball off the ground without using their hands or arms. It's not unusual for players to warm up with Altina on the pitch before a game, but in Brazil it's happening everywhere. On the beach, the street, the pitch, and more. There's even a movement in Brazil to turn it into an Olympic sport. Here's a look at what's happening now. Traffic along Portage Avenue. It's a beautiful start to the day. It's sunny, it's gorgeous, and things are moving well in this part of the city. If you have any problems out there, please send us a text to let us know. Let's go now to Ainsley, who's live at Oak Hammock Marsh this morning. Another beautiful morning, Ainsley, to be outside. Good morning.
I am just the luckiest person in Manitoba. And do you think that the people who started Ducks Unlimited back in the late 1930s thought that it would be me birding in front of Oak Hammock Marsh in 2026? I don't think so, but I'm going to give you a little bit of a trivia. So I learned yesterday about the red-winged blackbird. This here is the Oriole, which is a baseball team none of us should be cheering for. And we're going to be birding throughout the morning. Oak Hammock Marsh, a delightful place to be doing that. I'm currently looking at nothing right now. There's stuff for Father's Day here. You can hop in a canoe. You can head into the interpretive center. There's another canoe in there as well for the kids. So much to see, so much to do. And there's even a contraption. It's escaping me right now, the name of the contraption of the bird people. They're nerdy. I love it. I will remember the name of the contraption. We'll talk about it at 6:42.
Sounds good. Okay, thank you, Ainsley. Let's go out to the rooftop now. The sun is shining. It's going to be hotter than it was yesterday.
You're right about that. And it's certainly going to be sunnier than it was yesterday through a good chunk of the day. And I think that'll make the biggest difference. I mean, the temperatures yesterday were still above seasonal, but that lack of sunshine when it clouded over a little bit, and then there was a breeze, and I was like, ooh, I'd like it to be warmer. I'd like it to be sunnier, but I always want it to be sunnier. That being said, we need the precipitation, and it looks like we'll get some of that too. 17 degrees is where we're sitting right now with just a 4K wind out of the northeast. The pressure rising, the humidity sitting at 78%, and yeah, that sun is right at eye level right now. Blinding somewhat, so make sure when you do head out, you've got the sunglasses with you. And depending how long you're going to be out for, take that rainproof or waterproof something or other, whether it be just a poncho or a jacket of some type, because there is a very good chance that we're going to get some of that precipitation much later into the day. But again, it depends how long you're planning to be out for. If you leave now and don't come back till supper time, perhaps, you might need it by then. Some places will need it sooner than that. Southwestern Manitoba will likely be the first to see that precipitation, passing through about midday with some showers or some thunderstorms. For us, that chance kind of begins around supper time, but it really intensifies into the evening overnight, with a very good chance then of getting passed over with that precipitation. Parts of the very far north might also see some of that. Then there's a good chunk of the province through most of northern and central Manitoba who will be just soaking up that sunshine today. And not that we won't get to enjoy some of that. We'll get the hot temperatures too, with a high of 29 in Winnipeg. We're taking a break, but we'll be back with your Morning Winnipeg.
Weather is brought to you by ABC Fire and Safety, your CO2 refill store.
Good morning. New disturbing details about Friday's frightening hostage taking in St. James. Police now say 2 of the hostages were female youth, and the suspect was killed after being shot by officers. It all started after authorities learned of a man with outstanding warrants in the area. Manitoba's Independent Investigation Unit says he fled from police officers twice, first by ramming a police cruiser with a vehicle, and then by running into a residential area. That's when he broke into a random house in the 400 block of King Edward Street, which was occupied by 3 people. At one point, officers say they saw him pointing a gun at them through the drapes of a window, prompting an officer to fire at him. About 20 minutes later, a man ran from the home and told officers 2 girls were still in the home and the suspect had threatened to kill them all. One girl was believed to be hiding on the main floor, while another was in the basement with the suspect. Tactical officers then rushed inside and rescued one girl, and afterwards noticed smoke billowing from the home. They rushed inside again and rescued the second girl, while the suspect escaped from the back of the home. Police say he was still carrying the firearm at that time and was fatally shot by officers. Authorities haven't released any information about his identity or what the warrants were for. The IIU says it's unable to provide any more information as the investigation is still unfolding. However, anyone who saw what happened or who has information or video footage is asked to give the IIU a call. Manitobans in the Southern Health Region are invited to jump on a telephone town hall Wednesday night to talk about measles. The province says public health officials will be on the call to provide an overview of the measles outbreak in Manitoba, answers questions about the disease, and promote measles vaccinations. According to provincial data, as of Friday, there have been 589 confirmed cases of measles this year. The telephone town hall is scheduled for Wednesday at 6 p.m. To participate in the town hall, you must register on the Engage MB website. Summer is almost here, and for many that means it's time to get the lawnmower back in action. But one Bridgewater resident is vowing not to mow his nearby boulevard. CTV's Harrison Shin explains why.
Alex Hames has been living in Bridgewater since 2008, right next to what he calls a botanical garden.
I decided that the only way that left in my hands is to protest, and this is my this is my way to protest.
Hames says the reason he calls it a garden is because he hasn't mowed it in a while, but he says that's completely the city's fault.
If I will run my lawnmower, it will stuck. It will not work.
Hames says the ground of the boulevard got packed due to the weight of heavy machinery from nearby construction, and he doesn't have necessary equipment to level the surface out. And even if he did, he says it isn't his responsibility.
City expect me to mow the lawn when it's uneven ground, like from here to here.
Hames says he contacted area councillor Janice Lukes and 311 to deal with the issue, but he says nothing has been done to level the boulevard. When that's done, he says he will be more than happy to mow it.
I hope the botanic garden will not last for long after this interview.
Harrison Shin, CTV News, Winnipeg.
After speaking with CTV News, Hames says a City of Winnipeg bylaw enforcement officer served him with a notice of inspection due to the overgrown boulevard grass. Tennis legend Serena Williams is returning to the sport after almost 4 years away. Williams has accepted an invitation to play doubles at the upcoming Queen's Club Grass Court Tournament in London. The 44-year-old has not competed since the 2022 U.S. Open, where she bid farewell by declaring that she was evolving away from tennis. The tournament will start next Monday. No word yet on who her partner will be. Chile failed to qualify for the 2026 FIFA World Cup, but their fans still seem to be pumped for the tournament. 8,000 fans turned out at a stadium in Santiago to take part in the country's largest ever sticker swapping event. The official FIFA World Cup 2026 album contains 980 stickers, and it takes a lot of time, money, and effort to complete, so the event gave everyone a chance to work together to fill out their albums. We have some road closures to remind you about this morning. All eastbound lanes on Mountain Avenue will be closed from Fife to McPhillip Street. The southbound curb lane on Albert Street will be closed between McDermott and Notre Dame Avenue. And following the rush, the median lanes on Sargent Avenue will be closed from Strathcona to Minto Street. If you have any other traffic tips, please send us a text at 10400.
Looking now through the CTV Live Eye, brought to you by Bathfitter, exclusive home of the PermaFit solution. We'll enjoy a little bit of sunshine today and a little more heat than we got yesterday, although yesterday, I will say, it was an above seasonal day. Normals for this time of year would be about 22 degrees, and honestly, that sounds frigid. Those are closer to our overnight temperatures. Actually, we're a little bit below that this morning, coming in at 17 degrees here in Winnipeg. A lot cooler over in Brandon, 9 degrees, single digits. It seems like a while since we talked about that after that week of hot weather, and the overnight lows were closer into the high teens and low 20s. But in fact, 9 for a low temperature is bang on normal for this time of year. That's where Swan River is sitting as well. Dauphin just below that at 7 degrees. Then we've got these double digits right up into northern Manitoba, where it's still going to be a warm and fairly sunny day. A little bit cooler over in Churchill, 3 degrees for you. For northern Manitoba, along that most northern border, that's where there will be some heavier clouds and a little bit of precipitation. But most of the north and central Manitoba will remain on the clearer side. Here in the south, the southwest might by about midday through the early part of the afternoon, begin to see some precipitation, which we could see by supper time, but more likely will be passing through into the evening overnight. As far as the conditions go throughout the day today, 22 by the time kids get into the classrooms, 26 through the lunch hour, 28 by the time they're coming home again, and we will enjoy a fair bit of sunshine and that warmth throughout the day. That warmth will take us up to 29 degrees with that potential for storms into the evening overnight, and then continuing through tomorrow with some slightly cooler temperatures then to kind of finish out the rest of the week. But that sunshine back in full force by Friday, heating us up for the weekend, and we will get a nice couple of hot days again, perfectly timed out for Saturday, Sunday. Look at these two in the Ashern area. So Carrie says there's a family of 4 little kits that live under her shed. Now, before anybody comes at us about this one, this was cropped and zoomed. She did not get too close. She's given them their space, but my goodness, they're adorable. Thanks for sharing. Keep the pictures coming, please, to Winnipeg Weather at CTV.ca. We're taking a break. We'll see you soon.
Welcome back. For all those who play team sports, check out this contest. We're giving away 25 $100 Chicken Chef gift cards with draws every week from May 25th to July 17th. So tell us your most memorable fun team moments. Attach a picture and you will be entered into the draw. We received this photo from Gerard, last season's girls 12 and under team final tournament. Everyone brought food and snacks and had one heck of a great time. Congratulations to that girls team for one great season. And you can also have your sports moment featured on our show. To enter, head to the contest page on our website, ctvwinnipeg.ca, and fill out the form with your answer and your picture. Good luck.
Your Manitoba sports team moment brought to you by Chicken Chef, where memories are made.
It's estimated about 500,000 Canadians own timeshares, although the majority of properties are outside the country. But you have to study the contracts carefully before making a commitment. Here's CTV's Pat Foran.
I just want to get out of it.
Gerlin Galligan of Toronto saw an ad on Facebook to have a 3-day, 2-night stay at a resort in Collingwood. It was a promotional offer with a discounted price, and she had to agree to sit through a sales presentation.
They offered us timeshare.
Galligan signed a contract to pay almost $22,000 for a vacation package and agreed to pay $205 per month for 2 years. After that, the payments will increase to $309 at almost 17% interest for 96 months. She says she was unaware there were also annual fees.
Like, if I should have known that I will be paying $1,200 to $1,600 yearly, even if you're not using the resort, I would never sign that.
She signed the contract in October and decided in November she wanted to cancel it, but by then it was too late as the 10-day cooling off period had passed.
There's no way out. It's very unfair for consumers that it's only 10 days.
Galligan signed the contract with Vitality Vacations of Collingwood. A spokesperson told CTV News Vitality Vacations operates in full compliance with Ontario consumer protection laws. Ms. Galligan contacted our team to cancel. At that point, her loan had already been processed and funded. CTV News reached out to the Canadian Resort and Travel Association, which tries to educate consumers on timeshares.
You are obligated under a contract. There's a loan that's involved. There's a financing that's involved in this, and there's an obligation to stay for the term.
Getting out of a timeshare contract is difficult, and companies that claim they can cancel timeshare contracts for a fee may not be able to.
That is absolutely not real. Some people take advantage of poor consumers that are just trying to find an exit.
Galligan says she regrets signing the contract.
I want to share my story for other people to be very careful into getting into timeshares.
Pat Foran, CTV News.
Here's a look at what's happening on Notre Dame Avenue. Things are moving well starting off this Tuesday morning. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back after this.
It's beautiful outside this morning, 17 degrees, some sun shining over us, and just a bit of a breeze. The winds out of the northeast are 4 kilometers per hour. The pressure is rising, the humidity sitting at 78%. Yeah, the sun is up already. It's been up. Listen, it started rising at 5:30 like a month ago, and so of course it's up already. It's throwing us a little bit of warmth, and we're not seeing those extra clouds that we saw yesterday morning that kind of blocked a little bit of sunshine. We will perhaps see more of those clouds in that very southwestern corner of the province. Most places will enjoy a fair bit of sunshine today, as will we here in the southeast, but there is that possibility of some precipitation, which we need, we will welcome. It might be kind of perfectly timed to not even arrive until maybe supper time, or even more likely overnight. So there is that chance or risk of a thunderstorm today. 29 degrees, so our temperatures will be a little bit warmer than yesterday. Yesterday was still above seasonal, but we topped out at about 26, and I think with the extra clouds, I don't know, I felt like it wasn't enough for me. 17 is where we'll fall to overnight. That risk of thunderstorms will continue through the overnight hours. In fact, it kind of intensifies overnight. So if you're a light sleeper, Mother Nature might be giving you a little shout out in the overnight hours. 23 for tomorrow. So tomorrow will be a little bit cool with that possibility of thunderstorms continuing or some showers through the day. Showers would be more ideal, obviously, than thunderstorms, because lightning striking these very dry conditions might not be ideal, but we do need that precipitation. Now, after all of those storms and precipitation passes through, we'll see things settling, cooling ever so slightly. 22 degrees is normal for this time of year, so we're not slipping far beyond that, but we'll soar far beyond it again, because for the weekend, the heat is coming back with a fair bit of sunshine to finish off the week and kick off this coming weekend.
One person is recovering from serious injuries and 2 others are dead following a single vehicle crash in the Interlake Friday. It happened on Highway 68 near the intersection of Road 14 East near Arborg. Officers found the vehicle in the field with the driver still trapped inside. The 34-year-old woman from Arborg was airlifted to hospital with serious life-threatening injuries. Her 2 passengers, a 34-year-old woman and a 50-year-old man, also from Arborg, were ejected from the vehicle and pronounced dead at the scene. The cause of the crash is under investigation. Winnipeg police are appealing for information after a man was found dead over the weekend. Officers found the man's body outside a home in the 700 block of Stella Avenue around 8 Sunday morning. He's been identified as 32-year-old Jamie Raymond Asham, a member of Peguis First Nation, who had been living in Winnipeg. Police were unable to say how he died, but his death is considered suspicious, and the homicide unit has taken over the investigation. Anyone with information is being asked to contact Winnipeg Police or Crime Stoppers. A subsidiary of Tesla is taking the Manitoba government to court over its exclusion from the province's electric vehicle rebate program. Tesla Motors Canada, ULC, filed a notice of application on Friday in the King's Bench of Manitoba. It alleges the exclusion is unreasonable and procedurally unfair and inconsistent with the program's objectives. The filing says the exclusion has unfairly and unreasonably deprived Manitobans who purchased qualifying Tesla vehicles of at least $560,000 in lost rebates. The company is asking the court to set aside the exclusion, order respondents to remove all references to it from its websites within 14 days, and declare Tesla purchases which would otherwise have qualified under the program remain eligible. It says Tesla Canada has suffered substantial and unjustified harm, including lost market share and reputational harm. CTV News reached out to the province. A spokesperson declined to comment, saying the matter is before the courts. If you've heard a buzz when you've been outside lately, people in White Ridge have discovered a pest has returned to their backyards a little earlier than normal this year. And we're not talking about mosquitoes. Wasps have made their return alongside the recent extreme heat. CTV's Joseph Bernacki explains.
Brian Strike is back working on his front lawn. It's going smoothly now, but the last time he tried to do this, he was interrupted by an unexpected pest.
And all of a sudden I felt a tickle on my arm and there's this huge wasp walking across.
Strike quickly shooed it away before it could sting. It's not the only wasp he's come across in White Ridge over the last week.
I pulled a window down and right at the top was a crusty wasp. Pretty sure it was fresh. Haven't really seen any bees, but yeah, it's usually bees you see first, and then wasps come later.
And he's not the only resident who's heard a buzz. James Ford lives down the road from Strike. Ford says he's had some wasps in his yard and even more at his cabin in West Hawk Lake. He says he's never seen this many so early in the season.
I was blown away at how many wasps, large wasps, I found in the cottage, crawling around the floor, flying around. I had to kill a bunch of them, get rid of them.
Entomologist Taz Stewart says the delayed spring across the province, mixed with recent extreme heat, has brought wasps out of hiding early.
You're seeing their life cycle being increased, and with the temperatures just being so hot and warm, you're seeing accelerated growth, and that's what's key in this.
Stewart says there's good news. Wasps aren't typically aggressive until they start running out of food sources, typically by the end of summer. Still, the public should be wary of nests tucked away where you may not see them right away.
There's always a new queen that gets pushed out, and she goes and finds a safe, hot, warm spot to overwinter. Then she comes out, makes a new nest, creating more of a problem.
Joseph Bernacki, CTV News, Winnipeg.
The U.S. Food and Drug Administration has approved the first oral antiviral designed to help prevent COVID-19 after exposure to an infected person. Zocova is a 5-day pill regimen approved for people 12 and older. The drug maker says it works by blocking viral replication before symptoms develop. During trials, the drug reduced the risk of developing symptomatic COVID by 67% compared to a placebo. Common side effects include headache, diarrhea, and cough. The Carolina Hurricanes and Vegas Golden Knights square off in Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Final tonight, and there are plenty of Manitobans to root for.
Chased by Sebastian Aho. Score! Just 33 seconds in. Seth Jarvis.
Winnipeg's Seth Jarvis is playing in the Stanley Cup Final for the first time alongside teammate Jordan Martinook, who hails from Brandon. Meantime, Golden Knights captain Winnipegger Mark Stone is looking to lead his club to a second Stanley Cup win. He's joined by Oakbank's Brett Howden and Brandon's Keegan Colasar. Puck drop from Raleigh, North Carolina goes at 7 o'clock Central. Here's a look at the start of the day on Kenniston and Sterling Lion Way. It looks like the drive is moving quite well here. If you encounter any problems out on the streets, please send us a text to let us know. Here's a look at your gas prices now. In Winnipeg, the average is $1.60. It's a slight drop from yesterday. And the lowest price in the city is $1.49, found at 3 gas stations. All this info is on GasBuddy.com.
The Price at the Pump is brought to you by the Kidney Foundation. Help by donating your card today.
Coming up, Ainsley McPhail is live at Oak Hammock Marsh this morning. We're going to tell you about some of the fun activities coming up this summer. Stay with us.
Weather is brought to you by Canadian Footwear, helping you find the perfect fit.
A gorgeous start to your morning. Clear enough to enjoy some sunshine, unlike the heavier clouds that we had yesterday. In fact, it was clear enough this morning that I got to see that blue moon. I mean, technically Sunday was its fullest phase, but it's still looking very big and bright. Not at all blue. That's just the name that they give it when it's the second full moon that happens in 1 month. So how lucky we were to kind of wrap up May with that and now kick off June with these very lovely temperatures. 17 degrees at the moment. A light breeze out of the northeast, 4 clicks. The pressure rising, the humidity sitting at 78%. Actually, yesterday we kicked off June with still above seasonal temperatures, but I was complaining about how cool it felt at 26 degrees. What a difference that is coming off of the almost 36 degrees that we experienced just days earlier. Well, that was too hot. I've got a very small window of what I like, but I think we might hit it today. 29 degrees with some sunshine and then the potential for some showers or thunderstorms for later this afternoon. Also getting to spend her day outside, Ainsley McPhail. Let's check in and see what's up. You're back inside. What?
I know, we wanted to get the perfect shot, but we also had a bunch of things to show. We'll be back out there. Don't you worry about that. We're at Oak Hammock Marsh. Jacques Bourgeois joins me once again to tell us all about what they have planned for June. Lots of birding exercises and whatever you can see here at the marsh.
June is a busy month. I mean, it's a tail end of migration, so there's still lots of birds around. I actually did a little birding walk yesterday after work. I found about 75 species on my walk. So it's just happening. Like there's tons of birds. So this month we'll be doing some birding and breakfast. So you can come and have breakfast. Actually, you go out for looking for birds, and you have breakfast in a cafe overlooking the marsh. Beautiful. We also have a sunset birding walk, which is kind of fun because birds are usually more active in the morning and at night. So you get to see both. We also have like tiny little toddlers birding walk. So we'll have like little puppets that will make some appearance, and basically they'll get to learn the little birds. So it's good for moms with strollers and toddlers and so on. And we're also going to do like a birding by ear workshop where we actually listen to the bird with special devices to basically pick up on the sounds of the birds. But also coming up a little later, we also have our water bug derby on Father's Day. So that's always a big popular event. People catch different bugs and there's different points. So that's a fun. And also in July coming up, we have our Marsh Market. First Marsh Market. I'll be selling my maple syrup at the market. We have craft and food and stuff, so it should be a good thing. People can still sign up as vendors. There's still some registration spots open. So that's basically June coming up for us.
To be the type of person who can identify 75 different types of birds, you mentioned earlier on that there is a contraption that we'll be using later in the show, and I mentioned it too. The name escaped me, so what is this?
Well, this device here is basically a parabolic antenna that captures all the sounds. We call it the sonic sleuth. So it basically pick up the sound from a distance. But honestly, like there's an app for it. You can just put your phone and listen to the birds, and we'll actually tell you what birds are listening. So it's kind of cheating a bit, but it's a good way to see what kind of birds are around you.
You know what? I think I would much rather an app. No, we don't need that. I would much rather just be walking around the park with this. Maybe they'll think I'm some kind of bird alien. Jacques, thank you so much. More coming up after the break.
Here's a look at the early markets. The Dow Jones is 191 points down. The Nasdaq lost 49. The S&P index decreased slightly. The Canadian dollar is lower, set to 72.20 cents U.S. Overseas, the Hang Seng jumped 640 points, and the Nikkei fell 200 points. Good morning. It is 6:46. RCMP are investigating the death of an 18-year-old man in northern Manitoba over the weekend. Mounties were called to a home in the community of Lynn Lake early Saturday morning for an unresponsive man. He was brought to the local nursing station where he was pronounced dead. Mounties say they were initially told he had been seriously injured in an ATV crash, but their investigation determined that was not true, and his death was the result of a homicide. Lynn Lake is located some 230 kilometers north of Flin Flon, near the Saskatchewan border. The spring sitting at Manitoba's legislature is officially over, and MLAs are now off for the summer. The 3-month session featured plenty of political sparring, along with debates over affordability and a proposed social media ban. Starting July the 1st, the PST will be removed from prepared meals, snacks, and soft drinks sold at grocery and convenience stores. The NDP says the move will save the average family of 4 about $100 a year. The opposition says Manitobans need more help to deal with the rising cost of living. The legislature isn't set to resume sitting until late September. Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre's request for an emergency debate on the state of Canada's economy has been denied, giving more fuel to the debate over a possible recession.
This side of the House understands that. We will control what we can control.
The leader of the opposition should stop running down Canada and join us.
It's the Liberal Prime Minister that's running down our economy and then running away from accountability for it. Where is he anyway?
The Speaker of the House said the request didn't meet requirements for an emergency debate. Statistics Canada says Canada's economy contracted slightly for 2 straight quarters, meeting the technical definition of a recession. But Prime Minister Mark Carney has yet to take questions on whether Canada is facing a real recession. South Korean defense company Hanwha is promising to use Canadian steel to build armored military vehicles, but there's a catch.
Economic activity that comes from that deal for automotive is the equivalent of 1 new car plant here. And so what that means is probably 15,000 direct jobs.
Hanwha is promising the military vehicle deal only if it wins the bid to build Canada's new submarine fleet. The move would significantly strengthen Canada's auto industry, as Hanwha already has thousands of orders for the armored vehicles. Prime Minister Mark Carney has said the winner of the submarine bid will be announced by the end of June, before the deadline for reviewing the Canada-US-Mexico Free Trade Agreement is between Hanwha and a competing proposal from a German company. U.S. President Donald Trump has signed a proclamation to adjust tariffs on some steel and aluminum products. The proclamation will reduce the tariff on some steel, aluminum, and copper imports from 25% to 15%. This tariff cut would mostly affect agricultural equipment in a move to help farmers facing higher costs due to the Iran war. Foreign companies can qualify for a 10% tariff rate if their equipment contains 85% U.S. steel or aluminum. The change comes into effect next Monday until the end of 2027. Canada-U.S. Trade Minister Dominic LeBlanc will be in Washington today. He's scheduled to meet with U.S. Trade Representative Jameson Greer. The CUSMA review deadline is July the 1st. Canada and the U.S. have not held any official trade talks. The U.S. and Mexico wrapped up their first round of bilateral talks last week. Turns out there's more than just tourists flocking to Venice. Scientists have noticed flamingos are starting to return to Venice's lagoons. The city's canals get all the headlines, but Venice's lagoons are vital to keeping the local ecosystem in balance. Erosion has taken its toll over the years. The flamingos are a sign rebuilding efforts are working. These birds only show up when there is enough to eat, and the flamingo population in Venice has been going up for about 20 years now. We have some road closures to remind you about this morning. All eastbound lanes on Mountain Avenue will be closed from Fife to McPhillip Street. The southbound curb lane on Albert Street will be closed between McDermott and Notre Dame Avenue. And following the rush, the median lanes on Sargent Avenue will be closed from Strathcona to Minto Street. If you see anything out there, please give us a heads up.
17 degrees this morning. Beautiful start to your day. The sun is shining. The winds are light out of the northeast, just 4 kilometers per hour. The pressure is rising and the humidity is sitting at 78%. Look how stunning it is outside. Gorgeous start to the morning. Plenty of sunshine here through the southeast, but throughout much of northern Manitoba as well. Southwestern Manitoba, that's where things will get a little active as far as the weather goes, but also right along this very northern border, there could be a few extra clouds, maybe even a little bit of precipitation, or at the moment in the Churchill area, fog. Those are the lines that you're seeing there. 3 degrees is expected as the high in Churchill, so it will be a little bit cooler, whereas other places mid-20s for the most part. That possibility of precipitation could just kind of graze over parts of northeastern Manitoba. A lot more sunshine expected throughout northwestern Manitoba. And still a very warm day, not quite the 30-degree day that you were experienced yesterday or in the days leading up to yesterday, but still well above seasonal as you're pushing up into those high 20s with plenty of sunshine today. Lower 20s, mid-20s here through southern Manitoba. 22 degrees normal for this time of year, so most places are still likely to climb at least a little bit above seasonal, but some heavier clouds and then very likely some showers or some thunderstorms to be passing through. And this will be more of a midday event through southwestern Manitoba, where we too have the possibility of some of that activity, but not likely till later into the afternoon or more likely evening overnight. Some places might still hit that 30-degree mark. Winnipeg, 29 on tap. I mentioned 22 degrees being normal for this time of year. And further to the east of us, still a very warm and likely a sunnier day through northwestern Ontario. Now, we've got those storms passing through for later today and then overnight and continuing through tomorrow with some slightly cooler temperatures to follow. But the sunshine makes an appearance again toward the end of the week, and it heats us back up for the weekend.
Thanks, Terry. Let's check in now on the team at 103.1 Virgin Radio. Hi, guys. Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday. Shout out to those people who... So we pulled an audible this morning. We got all fired up because people started lining up at like 3 a.m. for the new Princess Auto, which opens in...
less than 10 minutes,
Wow.
7 o'clock this morning.
Wow.
Yeah. And so Lloyd brought this up. He's like, when was the last time you were so excited about something you lined up for it? Or if you don't have one, be like, what was your first time ever waiting in line for a new album to come out,
right,
or to buy tickets to something?
Mm-hmm.
So yours is old school.
Mine's older, yeah. It was a huge event in Transcona, you guys. It was the very first Subway.
Oh,
and I remember I waited in line for an hour for a 6-inch sub.
Awesome. I approve.
Oh, I was so jacked up.
I approve. If you want to participate, by the way, because we told you this last week, Rachel, is your viewers are so fun on text. So First thing you remember ever lining up for, text us 99999, and we'll do a segment on it on the show as well. Chrissy?
Golf Town this year, ladies' night. So you got to get in for all the specials. I lined up with a bunch, over 100 ladies, and I was in line for almost 2 hours.
Oh, wow.
The biggest one that stands out for me, I might be remembering it incorrectly. I don't even know.
Mm-hmm.
I just remember it was that final playoff series of Jets 1.0.
Right.
Remember we played the Detroit Red Wings?
Yeah.
And we won in Detroit. Like, we thought we were going to be done. And so that brought the series back to Winnipeg, which ended up being like the last game of 1.0.
Yeah.
And waiting in line, because I didn't have the number for select a seat. Eh?
Yeah.
780.
780 seat.
It was so easy.
Well, thanks, guys, for that. And if you want more information, of course, you could always send you guys a text. Thank you, guys. A boy with autism who worked on a Hollywood movie grew up to become a world pinball champion. CTV's Adam Sawatsky has the story.
As Kathy Gagnon looks back on when her son Robert was cast alongside John Travolta as a baby double in Look Who's Talking 2,
Robert's got the nicest smile.
she recalls how the movie's other star, Kirstie Alley, asked her a concerning question.
She asked me if I ever had Robert's hearing tested.
Her boy was interacting with others differently than the other kids on set. But rather than being deaf, Robert was eventually diagnosed as being on the autism spectrum.
So I tried to find out all the information I could. That was the way I coped with it.
And instead of trying to fix a problem, Kathy and her husband were compelled to support their son's unique potential, which led Robert to discover a pinball machine for the first time.
Wow, is this some really cool, like, high-tech toy? It felt good. It felt adventurous.
An adventure where, after learning how to make the ball go wherever he wanted it to go, Robert was the hero.
The excitement is always fun for me. It makes me feel in the zone.
And Robert's talent transformed the pinball-loving boy
It's kind of like the autism would disappear. He was just so focused on the machine.
into a real-life pinball wizard.
And he would attract people, and he seemed to enjoy it.
Robert proved to be so passionate about pinball and so good at playing it, he started amassing machines and winning tournaments on both sides of the border before entering the World Championships as a contender.
The quality of the best play in the world under a pressure situation from Robert Gagnon.
Oh, it felt amazing. This ball could be worth $10,000 American. This is like a dream.
A dream, after competing against the best pinball players on the planet, that Robert made a reality by winning the Worlds.
It felt really cool, actually, to be called world champion. We got that beautiful trophy.
While Robert continues to win tournaments, be embraced by the pinball community, and earn fans around the globe, what Kathy is most grateful for is that her unique boy has grown up to be a happy man.
And when he smiles, his whole face just lights up. And to see that, I think that's what made me the most proud.
Adam Sawatsky, CTV News, Burnaby.
We're going to take a quick break, but make sure to tune in. After the break, we have a big announcement for your morning Winnipeg you won't want to miss. Stay with us. It's Tuesday, June 2nd. Today, demanding answers. What questions remain following the death of a young Manitoba girl? Plus, showing improvements, how Manitoba fared on the latest poverty report card. And a growing outbreak, how Manitobans can take part in a town hall on measles. Your Morning Winnipeg starts right now. Good morning, Manitoba. Happy Tuesday to you. It is 7 a.m. Thank you so much for being with us here on Your Morning Winnipeg. Now, we have a big announcement to make on the show. In fact, it's not my announcement to make. It's Terry's announcement to make.
Thank you. Yes, after a lot of thought and a lot of emotion, I've made the decision to wrap up my time here at CTV, and I'm stepping away from my television career.
Oh.
And even just saying that feels
so strange.
Surreal. Yeah, it really does. This isn't my final goodbye. We'll have time for that, but I did want to make sure that we take a moment to just acknowledge all of you who have been with us over the time, because it has been such an incredible privilege, and that is not lost on me. So I didn't want this moment to pass without giving you at least a little bit of a heads up. And of course, it means so much. We've got a couple of weeks left. Listen, this is not, like I said, the end, and I can't wait to, share my next adventures with you. You're going to have to follow me online to keep up to date with all that is happening there. But we will have plenty of fun, and I just wanted to make sure that you are given just a little bit of a heads up that that the next chapter is coming, and I'm very much looking forward to it. But I wanted to say thank you for all you've given me over the years.
Well, thank you to you as well. What you don't understand is Terry brings so much energy to this place every single day. She pumps us all up and always smiling and always happy. And what you represent on air is truly what you are in person. We love working with you, and we will miss you so much.
It's easy with such a great team like this. Listen, like I said, this isn't it yet. We've still got a couple of weeks of fun to have, and we'll have it in the sunshine and with some gorgeous weather over us. 17 degrees right now, northeast winds 4 clicks. The pressure rising, the humidity sitting at 78%. And yeah, what a beautiful start to the day. This is why I'm leaving. I want to be able to enjoy this weather. Look how gorgeous. Across most of the province, the sun is shining. Here in the southwest, getting a little bit of activity. That'll be kind of showing up about midday. Southwestern Manitoba, some showers, some thunderstorms, maybe a little bit across that most northern border. We have a chance of seeing some of that, but probably later into the afternoon or more likely into the evening overnight. That's 10 p.m. I've stopped this. So there could be some storms. We need the precipitation. We'll take it. And it's going to come after a lot of heat today. So more heat than yesterday. I was complaining that yesterday at 26 degrees and still above seasonal seemed cool. This activity could actually continue, though, throughout tomorrow and maybe even, cooler temperatures for the next couple of days. So today, enjoy that last little blast of heat before things settle down for the rest of the week. You can see there's still going to be more of that precipitation Thursday through central Manitoba. It's for the next couple of days that we'll experience it here in the southeast, and then those slightly cooler temperatures to follow, but sunshine back by the end of the week and perfectly timed for the weekend. That heat is coming back too. It's going to be feeling good again. And our art today, how beautiful is this? 6-year-old Karis, thank you for sharing a beautiful, stunning rainbow. Maybe we'll be seeing that after today's rain. Keep the art coming to ctvnewswinnipeg.ca, and when you enter online through our website, you'll be entered to win a $100 gift card from Crockadoodle on Kenniston.
The weather art of the day is brought to you by Crockadoodle. Spend quality time with loved ones and paint memories together.
Thank you, Terry. A Manitoba family wants to know why their 9-year-old child died days after they say she broke her arm in a sledding accident. Relatives are questioning the treatment Mary Bull Sinclair received at the Dauphin Hospital. CTV's Jeff Keel reports.
9-year-old Mary Jeanette Miley Bull Sinclair's family says she broke her arm sledding. She died 5 days later. Now, her loved ones want answers into her death.
Never did we think this activity would end in tragedy.
From Ochi-Chaco-Sipi First Nation, Mary's family says on March 16th, she broke her arm in a tobogganing accident, and it sounded serious.
An ambulance came to get her. The paramedics told Mary's mom to get ready for a potential trip to Children's Hospital in Winnipeg.
Instead, they say she was sent to Dauphin's Regional Hospital, where her arm was put in a sling, not a cast, and she was sent home. But the pain was so bad, they say Mary had to sleep sitting up. The family says a couple days later, she returned to the hospital, only to be sent home again with Tylenol and Advil.
She stayed home in pain. Mary and her mother, Serena, cried together.
Then on the 21st, they say Mary's chest appeared discolored, and she was sleeping on her broken arm. Her mom checked on her.
This is when she cried out for help as she noticed Mary's fingers were turning purple and fluid was coming out of her mouth and her nose.
An ambulance was called, but it was too late. The family says they are speaking out to get answers about her treatment.
Many First Nations families continue to report experiences where they feel their concerns have been minimized, dismissed.
In a statement to CTV News, Health Minister Uzoma Asaguera says the medical examiner is doing an in-depth autopsy, and the RCMP is also investigating the circumstances around Mary's death. Plus, the Children's Advocate could review the case too. The minister says out of respect for these investigations, it would be inappropriate to comment on the specific circumstances of Mary's care. The death of a child is a tragedy, and we understand why Mary's family is seeking answers.
Mary is going to rest in peace once justice is served for her.
Jeff Keel, CTV News, Winnipeg.
The Prairie Mountain Health Region says it does not provide comment related to any client or patient's personal health information or care. A new report finds Manitoba is faring better than its prairie counterparts in managing poverty, despite serious gaps in some areas.
A C- from a D- means that there's been progress.
That's the overall grade Food Banks Canada gives Manitoba in its 2026 poverty report card. Improvements were made in income spent on fixed costs and housing affordability. The 37% of Manitobans who felt worse off than last year is also an improvement from the 41% in 2025. However, Manitoba doesn't fare as well for food insecurity or its poverty rate. Accessing health care along with government supports, which don't keep up with inflation, were also noted as negatives. The province received an F on all those fronts.
Still, the majority of folks that are accessing our services are accessing employment and income assistance rates, which is a social safety net that is provided by the government that's still inadequate.
That's one of the areas Harvest Manitoba and Food Banks Canada is calling for change. Canada was given a D+ overall grade, while Quebec received the highest provincial grade at SC. Manitobans in the Southern Health Region are invited to jump on a telephone town hall Wednesday night to talk about measles. The province says public health officials will be on the call to provide an overview of the measles outbreak in Manitoba, answers questions about the disease, and promote measles vaccinations. According to provincial data, as of Friday, there have been 589 confirmed cases of measles this year. The telephone town hall is scheduled for Wednesday at 6 p.m. To participate in the town hall, you must register on the Engage MB website. Here's a look at traffic now along Portage Avenue at Polo Park. Things are moving well here to start off this Tuesday morning. If you see anything out there, though, please give us a heads up and send us a text. For all those who play team sports, check out this contest. We're giving away 25 $100 Chicken Chef gift cards with draws every week from May 25th to July the 17th. Tell us about your most memorable fun team moments. Attach a picture and you will be entered into the draw. We received this photo from Gerard. It's last season's girls 12 and under team final tournament. Everyone there brought food and snacks and had one heck of a great time. So congratulations to the girls for that great season. You can also have your sports moment featured on our show. To enter, head to the contest page on our website, ctvwinnipeg.ca, and fill out the form with your answer and your picture. Good luck.
Your Manitoba sports team moment brought to you by Chicken Chef, where memories are made.
The sale of Allied Gold to China's Zijin Gold International has cleared another hurdle. The deal has been approved by Canada's Investment Canada Act. Zijin is offering $44 Canadian per share, valuing the acquisition at about $5.5 billion. India is seeking deeper uranium supply ties with Canada and is willing to purchase significantly larger volumes of the nuclear fuel to support its ambitious plans for expansion. India's High Commissioner to Canada, Dinesh Patnaik, indicated that New Delhi would be prepared to buy all the uranium that Canadian producer Cameco could supply, and was also interested in exploring investment opportunities in Canadian uranium mining projects. This according to the Calgary Herald. Anthropic PBC has confidentially submitted draft paperwork for a public listing, potentially leapfrogging longtime rival OpenAI in the race toward a Wall Street debut as soon as the fall. The number of shares to be offered and the price have not yet been set, the company said in a blog post on Monday. Those are your morning business headlines. For BNN Bloomberg, I'm Roger Peterson.
Let's go back now to Ainsley, who's live this morning at Oak Hammock Marsh. It's beautiful, it's sunny, and it's a great time to be outdoors. Hi, Ainsley.
Oh, hundreds of different types of birds. It's like I'm getting a private tour this morning. And it's funny because I remember the last time I interviewed Shock, I was kind of trying to test him. I said, okay, well, what does this bird sound like? And he says, male or female? I said, well played. So maybe we'll have a little bit of an exercise later. But that's what you hear. This is what you see. I am just zooming in on a... Oh my gosh, it sounds like what it is, a yellow-headed blackbird. Yeah, say what you see. It's great. There's lots of events, whether it is birding, whether it is the market coming up in July. There's a Father's Day event too. So really bringing people together for nature and preserving it in such a wonderful way.
Yeah, it's
Back
so
to you.
Beautiful there. Thank you, Ainsley. Let's go out to the rooftop. The sun is shining. It's going to be hotter.
It is going to be warmer, yeah. I'm excited about that. I was saying yesterday seemed a little bit cool for my liking. We got up to 26 degrees yesterday. 22 is normal for this time of year. We still got above that, and there I was, complaining that it wasn't warm enough. I think it was the extra clouds, so it didn't feel quite as warm as, say, if you're soaking up the sunshine, because this actually feels better, and we're just at 18 degrees. But yes, we're at 18 now, and that's up a degree from last hour. Wind still on the lighter side out of the east, 9 clicks. The pressure is rising and the humidity sitting at 77%. And it is going to be beautiful. It's going to be warm. Most places are still looking to be well above seasonal. Closer to seasonal temperatures are actually expected through southwestern Manitoba. That's where you're already seeing a few extra clouds, and that'll be likely one of the first places to see the activity today with some showers or thunderstorms. And in fact, just a heads up, there is the possibility of severe weather for this afternoon through that southwestern part of the province. We too have a risk of showers or thunderstorms perhaps for later on, but it'll be kind of later into the day or evening overnight when we're seeing that activity here in southeastern Manitoba. For much of northern Manitoba, it's going to be a beautiful sunny and warm day. Not quite as hot as yesterday. You were still in the low 30s yesterday. Today, high 20s for northern Manitoba, and high 20s is where we're headed here in Winnipeg today, so maybe I won't complain that it's too cool at 29 degrees.
Weather is brought to you by Garage Masters, your complete garage specialists.
Thank you, Terry. It's time now for a question of the day. We want to know, when was the last time you had to wait in line for a store opening, a show, a game day? Share your story with us, please. You can text your answer to 10400. Make sure to follow the automated instructions so we can feature your response, and don't forget to include your name, please.
Question of the day, brought to you by Provivo, Manitoba's #1 cool sculpting clinic, science-backed body contouring.
At Your Morning Winnipeg, we're all about celebrating your amazing pets, furry, feathered, or scaly. Your Pet of the Week submissions are amazing. We want to see more. Whether it's dogs, cats, birds, or any other pet pals, send them our way. Drop your pet photos and a fun little story about them to petoftheweek@ctv.ca, and then catch us every Thursday to find out if your pet is our Pet of the Week on Your Morning Winnipeg. We're going to take a break here. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back. A firefighter was taken to hospital while battling an overnight blaze in southwest Winnipeg this weekend. The city says crews were called to a commercial building in the 1500 block of Steele Avenue around 11 Sunday night. That's near the corner of McGilvery Boulevard and Waverly Street. They managed to bring it under control within about 4 hours, but at some point, a firefighter was taken to hospital in stable condition. The cause is under investigation. Winnipeg police were involved in fewer use of force encounters and shootings last year. Another report shows police used force in 780 instances in 2025, representing 0.31% of all calls they were sent to. That's 30 fewer than the 5-year average and the lowest rate since 2021. Officers were also involved in 2 shootings, resulting in 1 fatality. That's compared to a 5-year average of 4 shootings and 3 fatalities. Both reports will be presented during Friday's police board meeting. Prime Minister Mark Carney has announced the launch of a National Unity Council to help tackle rising anti-Semitism in the country.
The council has a clear mission: to combat racism and hate in all their forms. Our actions must be local. And they start with clearly admitting that Canada's civic compact is failing Jewish Canadians. And they extend to all Canadians.
Carney spoke at one of Toronto's oldest synagogues just weeks after members of the city's Jewish community were shot at with a replica gun. Minister of Culture Mark Miller will lead the council, which will include former Olympic gold medalist Katrina LeMay-Doan, tasked with studying what's causing the surge in anti-Semitism and improve data collection on hate incidents. What would you do if you found a wallet full of cash?
When I got home, I freaked. My wallet was gone, everything. I ripped everything out of my side saddles of my bag, my bike.
David Jacobson assumed his wallet was gone forever, along with the $500 that was inside. He looked everywhere for nearly 3 days and then found a note in his mailbox. His wallet had been found. Leo McIntosh picked it up along the same bike trail David had lost it. The two arranged to meet up, and along with the cash, David got back, and an unlikely friendship was also formed. That's great. Here's what's happening now on Osborne Street. Looks like things are moving well over here, as you can see. If you encounter any problems out there, please send us a text when it's safe and legal to do so.
Traffic is brought to you by Curtis Carpets, Manitoba's flooring experts.
An upcoming workshop will get you all shored up. It's called North End Knishery, the art of traditional knish making. The event will be led by Harriet Zaidman, the voice behind the North End Nosh blog. Knish is a staple food in Ashkenazi Jewish cuisine. It's usually made out of round or rectangular dough, rather, and commonly filled with potatoes, kasha, or cheese. Zaidman says the hands-on workshop will draw on the rich culinary history of Winnipeg's North End and will also share techniques and stories shaped by generations of Jewish, Ukrainian, Polish, and other immigrant kitchens. The event kicks off on June 7th at 10 a.m. at the Rady GCC. Tennis legend Serena Williams is returning to the sport after almost 4 years away. Williams has accepted an invitation to play doubles at the upcoming Queen's Club Grass Court Tournament in London. The 44-year-old has not competed since the 2022 U.S. Open, where she bid farewell by declaring that she was evolving away from tennis. The tournament will start next Monday. No word yet on who her partner will be. After weeks of rumors, it's official. Taylor Swift is a part of the new Toy Story movie. She revealed a new song yesterday that will be featured on the film's soundtrack. It's called I Knew It, I Knew You, and it will be released on Friday. Taylor Swift writes on social media, I've always dreamt of getting to write for these characters who I've adored since I was a 5-year-old kid watching the first Toy Story movie. Toy Story 5 is in theaters on June 19th. Here's your Tuesday primetime lineup. Celebrity Wheel of Fortune kicks things off at 7. Match Game comes next at 8. And Catch Password at 9. It's all right here tonight on CTV.
I love the Toy Story movies. That's one of my favorite franchises of movies with kids, and I think it's probably the nostalgia of the age that my son was when they first came out.
But and it's also Tom Hanks. Anything he does, I just love.
Agreed. Yeah, no, absolutely. And that whole cast of characters, right? They're just delightful. So looking forward to number 5. Yeah. Can you believe it? All right. Can you believe this weather? Honestly, I am loving it up again. Yesterday I was like, oh, it seems cool. We got up to 26 degrees yesterday. Here's the thing. We show you this camera view. I don't know what's going on. I don't know. It doesn't look like that outside. It's prettier than that. We're looking through the CTV Live Eye, brought to you by Bathfitter, exclusive home with the PermaFit solution. We have these cameras, and maybe, I don't know where it is in the sky, if it's dusty or dirty up there or what's going on, but it's a whole lot brighter than what that particular view indicates. And it's warm and beautiful and just a light breeze, and these temperatures first thing this morning are pretty pleasant. 18 at the moment here in Winnipeg right now. Even off to the west, where it was 9 degrees earlier, Brandon has warmed up to 12 along with Swan River, so that's a 3-degree jump just in this past hour. And you're not even waking up to as much sunshine as we're seeing here in the southeast, as there are some heavier clouds throughout the southwest. Northern Manitoba, you are waking up to sunshine and mid-teen temperatures to kick off your morning, though it's been a little bit foggy up in the Churchill area and a little bit cooler too. 2 degrees right now, maybe with a high of 3. So Churchill isn't going to warm up the same way everybody else will, but high 20s expected through northern Manitoba, mid-20s through the southwest. We're still likely to get up into those high 20s today, but this is where all of the activity is for right now. Southwestern Manitoba, seeing the clouds by about midday. The storms, they're just out of frame right now, but about to be moving into that corner of the province. And then, yes, through midday, southwestern Manitoba, showers or thunderstorms, and could get very active, possibly even severe weather for tonight. We're on the rise to 28 degrees by the time kids are coming home from school, with 29 our expected high today. 22 is normal, but that chance of showers and thunderstorms continues through the evening, overnight, and still tomorrow. Slightly cooler temperatures to follow until the weekend, and then it's warming up all over again. How cute. This almost looks like AI. It's not. These are 2 of 4 little kits that Carrie gets to watch play all morning long. How fun would that be? Anyway, thank you very much for sharing the photos with us. Keep the pictures coming to Winnipeg Weather at ctv.ca.
June 2nd, 1896. Guglielmo Marconi was awarded the first radio patent. He had succeeded the previous year in sending long-wave radio signals over a distance of about 2 kilometers. In 1897, Marconi formed a wireless telegraphy company to develop its commercial applications. June 2nd, 1953. Queen Elizabeth II was crowned in London's Westminster Abbey. Elizabeth was 27 when she assumed the throne 16 months earlier upon the death of her father, King George VI. She had married Philip Mountbatten in 1947, and at the time of her coronation, they had 2 children, Prince Charles and Princess Anne. Elizabeth's coronation was the first to be televised. June 2nd, 2025. Hudson's Bay stores were officially closed. The 355-year-old company declared bankruptcy earlier that year and moved to liquidate merchandise at all 80 of its stores nationwide. The closure came as the company was set to return to court the next day to ask a judge to approve a $30 million deal it signed with Canadian Tire Corporation to buy the rights to HBC's intellectual property. There was a scare on board an international flight from New Jersey this weekend, but it turned out to be a prank. ABC News' Olivia Rubin reports.
It's every passenger's worst nightmare, a mid-air threat to their plane. Only on this flight, it was a cruel hoax.
Someone decided to name their Bluetooth device a certain 4-letter word, so they're evacuating the aircraft.
A United Airlines flight from Newark Saturday night headed to Spain, forced to turn around mid-air due to what the FAA called a passenger disturbance, all stemming from the name of a Bluetooth device on board.
We're going to be returning back to Newark because we have one passenger that seems to be making a funny joke that isn't so funny, and it's going to be compromising the safety of this flight.
The pilot making the announcement, a passenger posting on social media the device name was Bomb.
Federal agents will be coming on board, and they will be doing a search for the person that thought that this was funny, and which is a very serious issue, and we're not going to be taking this very lightly.
The flight, loaded with 190 passengers and 12 crew members, landing back at Newark Airport to a large law enforcement presence. Passengers deplaning to be swept and search the plane.
And the flight was cleared after that security search and able to travel to Spain with a new crew. Olivia Rubin, ABC News, Washington.
Ainsley McPhail is spending the morning at Oak Hammock Marsh. We're going to have details on what's coming up there this summer. Stay with us for more. Let's go back now to Ainsley, who's live at Oak Hammock Marsh. They have a really cool thing going on right now involving 2 B's, birds and breakfast. Good morning, Ainsley.
Oh, don't mention breakfast. You don't want to tell the public that they give us breakfast every time we're here.
Oh, now they know.
See, it's already coming out. Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to tell you. She said there's a birds and breakfast event. I want to hear all about it, Jacques.
Well, basically, there's a lot of ways to learn about birds. One of them is to come to one of our special events, like the bird and breakfast, where you get to go walk on the trails to look for birds. Then it's capped up a nice little hot breakfast in the cafe, which also overlook the marsh. So it's a very good way to learn about the birds and basically have your belly full at the end. So it's a fun event, and that's going to be taking place on the 7th and the 10th. So coming up in the morning, we start at 7 a.m. and we bird for about an hour or an hour and a half, then have breakfast after that. So it's actually a very fun event. We also have the sunset birding walk coming up. So that one's going to be this coming next weekend on the 6th. Basically, this one you go and look for birds at night. As the sun is setting, you get to see all the birds that are coming back and singing and basically making themselves shown and heard. So that's going to be a good way as well to see the birds, because they're usually active in the morning or in the evening. So those are the best times to check it out. Also, for little kids, on the 14th, we have a little tiny tot walk. So you get to explore the marsh on the boardwalk with little tweeter birds or with the little puppets. So it's a fun way for all ages. Now, what's cool about bird, when you think about the marsh, you think of the ducks and the geese. We just saw some geese fly by. But ducks, there's so many different species. We have actually different categories of ducks too. We have dabblers and divers, like this one here, for example. Shoveler has a big wide beak. He can actually dabble for food, brings it up and strain the water out, just like a whale using its baleen. Whereas a diver here, for example, will dive to the bottom to catch their food. So you can learn about the species, you can learn about the birds you see, all at the marsh here.
And the variety is just incredible. Like, you never know what you're going to see. Like, bring some binoculars because it could be a different thing every time.
Yeah, we also provide binoculars on those tours too, so people can come in. Just doesn't matter what their knowledge is. Like, they can, from beginners to advanced, we'll have something for everyone.
And you know what? Come with an empty stomach. A little birdie told me also that there's beer.
Oh, we're now selling beer in our cafe. Not for breakfast. Well, I mean, if you want from breakfast, I don't know. But yeah, we do have our cafe is licensed now. So.
Awesome. Well, whatever is legal, they're doing here at Okemik Marsh.
So that's 3 beers: birds, beer, and breakfast. Liking it. Okay, thank you, Ainsley. All right, well, let's talk about the beautiful weather today. It's going to be a nice day.
It's stunning out there already. I am loving things up, and it might get a little bit dicey as far as more active weather goes, but certainly these morning hours, you can get outside and enjoy them. 18 degrees. Plenty of sunshine, east winds 9 kilometers per hour. The pressure is rising, the humidity sitting at 77%. Is a lot brighter than it looks through that camera view, unless you're in southwestern Manitoba. And this is what's coming for you. Very active weather with the showers or the thunderstorms, but also the possibility that we could be looking at severe weather for later on today into the southwest, maybe eventually the southeast, but that'll be more into the evening, overnight. Stay tuned because Colleen Brady will have all of the updates that you're going to need into the afternoon. But you will want to pay attention, especially if you're in those areas, because with those storms, there is the possibility of some hail, some damaging winds. Just tune in tonight to Colleen, and she'll let you know what's going on as that system rolls in and gets a little more active. We too could see it more so into the evening, overnight, but that possibility is there for later today after a hot high of 29 degrees. South winds will be increasing to about 30 kilometers per hour, and then yes, that chance of showers or thunderstorms continuing through the night. 17 degrees, so staying well above seasonal in the overnight hours. Tomorrow, however, will be a little bit cooler, 23 on tap, and still the possibility of that precipitation continuing. Now, once all of that precipitation passes through, things will actually cool down for a couple of days. 19 for Thursday, 21 Friday, but the sunshine starts to appear again. And once the sun is back, the heat is coming along with it. Timed out for the weekend. It's going to get warm again, although it could get stormy again as we're wrapping up the weekend and looking ahead to next week.
Thank you, Terry. New disturbing details about Friday's frightening hostage-taking in St. James. Police now say 2 of the hostages were female youth, and the suspect was killed after being shot by police. It all started after authorities learned of a man with outstanding warrants in the area. Manitoba's Independent Investigation Unit says he fled from police officers twice, first by ramming a police cruiser with a vehicle, and then by running into a residential area. That's when he broke into a random house in the 400 block of King Edward Street, which was occupied by 3 people. At one point, officers say they saw him pointing a gun at them through the drapes of a window, prompting an officer to fire at him. About 20 minutes later, a man ran from the home and told officers 2 girls were still in the home and the suspect had threatened to kill them all. One girl was believed to be hiding on the main floor, while another was in the basement with the suspect. Tactical officers then rushed inside and rescued one girl, and afterwards noticed smoke billowing from the house. They rushed inside again and rescued the second girl, while the suspect escaped from the back of the home. Police say he was still carrying the firearm at that time and was fatally shot by officers. Authorities haven't released any information about his identity or what the warrants were for. The IIU says it's unable to provide any more information as the investigation is still unfolding. However, anyone who saw what happened or who has information or video footage is asked to give the IIU a call. About 1,200 people are still out of their homes, with 2 wildfires burning in northern Saskatchewan.
The higher the temperature, the lower the humidity, the more fires tend to start acting more, aggressive. You throw in some wind there, and you've got yourself a very bad combination.
People who were forced out are fleeing the Cayford fire near the Manitoba border. The Lobstick fire near the community of Shellbrook forced out 130 people. They were given the green light to go home yesterday. Premier Scott Moe, who is from the Shellbrook area, says crews are working hard to keep the fire from reaching the North Saskatchewan River, where there are farms running along the water. A white supremacist rally held over the weekend in Quebec has drawn widespread condemnation.
I mean, it's totally unacceptable.
We just don't accept that. It's not what we are.
About 20 people wearing masks showed up at the rally in Shawinigan, holding a sign with a racist message. No one has come out saying they organized the rally. People who saw it say the rally lasted about 20 minutes. Quebec Premier Christine Fréchette wrote, "I condemn in the strongest possible terms the gathering held in Shawinigan and the racist messages conveyed there. Provincial police are investigating." At least 18 people, including 2 children, have been killed in one of Russia's largest assaults on Ukraine in months. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky says civilian infrastructure and energy facilities were targeted. More than 100 people were hurt across the country. Russia's defense ministry says the strikes were a response to previous Ukrainian attacks. In a statement, it said the strike objectives had all been achieved. A survey released this morning finds most Canadians want to see big changes to our healthcare system. The poll from Nanos Research looked at Canadians' experiences with healthcare and what improvements they want to see. It found 91% believe the system needs to change, while more than half say it's moving in the wrong direction. 70% say they feel worried or frustrated. As for the top concerns, a quarter of Canadians point to long wait times. 12% cite poor access to services, while 11% say a shortage of healthcare workers is their biggest concern. Bird watchers at this town in Japan have something new to look out for. 8 crested ibises were released at the town of Hokui. This was a big deal, with Japan Crown Prince and his wife showing up for the ceremony. The ibis was once extinct in Japan, but the birds made a comeback through a breeding program in China. 10 more birds are waiting to be released. We have some road closures to remind you about this morning. All eastbound lanes on Mountain Avenue will be closed from Fife to McPhillip Street. The southbound curb lane on Albert Street will be closed between McDermott and Notre Dame Avenue. And following the rush, the median lanes on Sargent Avenue will be closed from Strathcona to Minto Street. Here's a look at your gas prices now. In Winnipeg, the average is $1.60. It's a slight drop from yesterday. And the lowest price in the city is $1.49. All this info is on GasBuddy.com.
The Price at the Pump is brought to you by the Kidney Foundation. Help by donating your card today.
Right now, it is 18 degrees outside and it's sunny. More Your Morning Winnipeg after the break.
A beautiful start to your Tuesday morning. Plenty of sunshine. It's warm out there already. 18 degrees and just a light breeze out of the east, 9 kilometers per hour. Pressure is rising. The humidity sitting at 77%. Blue sky and sunshine to kick us off, and we'll see a fair bit of sunshine today. We'll feel a fair bit of heat today as well. Things will change later into the day, or by about midday if you're here in southwestern Manitoba, because that's when you're likely to really see the active weather settling in. You can see just the beginnings of the shower activity, with some lightning bolts tucked in there too, so things will be most active in that southwestern corner. Parts of northern Manitoba might also see a little bit of precipitation. There could be a couple places. Thompson, Gillam could be you. Churchill a little bit cooler, but for everybody else, low to mid-20s expected, well above seasonal temperatures. Not quite the heat of yesterday. Yesterday you were still up in those low 30s, whereas today still high 20s and still above seasonal, just not quite as intense, but still every bit as sunny, especially through northwestern Manitoba, west central Manitoba. That's where things could start to get a little bit more active, and southwestern Manitoba. Southwestern Manitoba will see it first, and then as it pushes more into that central stretch, that's when things could really intensify as far as the activity goes. And I was saying earlier to just stay tuned to Colleen Brady, because there is a very good chance that the storms that we see rolling through that part of the province later today could become severe. And with severe storms, there's the possibility of hail, damaging winds. Things could get a little bit dicey, so make sure you're looking for those updates. 29 degrees. We too are expecting to see some showers with thunderstorms rolling through. It'll be a little bit later into the day, though, almost evening time. Some places might reach that 30-degree mark just to the southeast of us or further east. So still some places feeling the heat, but things will start to cool down after today's precipitation, the next couple of days of precipitation. That cool down settles in for the rest of the week. The weekend, though, heats up again with the sunshine returning by Friday.
Let's go back now to Ainsley, who's live at Oak Hammock Marsh. Father's Day is coming up, and it's a good place to visit. Hi, Ainsley.
I'm having technical issues right now, so I'm assuming that I'm live on the television. Hello, Waterbug Derby at Oak Hammock Marsh. Such a beautiful morning we have, Jacques, don't we? But you're giving the kids and dads, of course, an opportunity to celebrate Father's Day in a really fun way.
Yeah, basically, instead of a fishing derby, we're doing a water bug derby. So we give people like a sheet with different points for different kind of insects they can catch in the marsh, because there's so many things living in the water. And that's the reason why all the birds are here, all the ducks are here, because they can feed, they can find the food they need. And we basically give kids a net and a pail. They try to scoop and see what kind of bugs live in here. So we'll do a little demo. Basically, you grab your scooper and you try to catch as many bugs as you can from here. And let's see.
And you know what? The answer is a lot. Ew, what did I pick up?
Oh, look at that. You got, wow, that's pretty amazing. You got a whole bunch of little daphnias in here. So let's put them in a bucket and see what you got up close and personal.
You're like, so I'm like, ew. You're like, wow.
Amazing.
Ah, what is it? Okay, so you said daphnias. What?
Yeah, daphnias are basically part of the zooplankton, the tiniest little things. It's like water fleas, and everything will eat them. So that's basically super important. But you can see there's lots of little water tigers, which are little larvae of different insects. There's the little speedy ones here are called whirligig beetles. So it's just incredible the diversity you can find here. And there'll be different points attached to all those different insects. And the more different insects you catch, the more points you get, and you get prizes.
Mm-hmm. So you were truly an encyclopedia of all this, too. You had some fun facts, especially about the speedy ones there.
Yeah, the speedy ones actually are among the fastest ones. For example, for their size, they go 1 meter per second. That would be like us going from here to Winnipeg and back in about 5 minutes or so.
Oh my goodness. What else is spectacular about this event? Because you mentioned just how, I could hear it in your voice, how passionate you are about the ecosystem.
Well, there's lots of things that people don't realize. For example, dragonflies, they live in the water for many, many years before emerging and flying around. And as an adult, they have like a couple of weeks left to live. So the aquatic life cycle is super important for a lot of those bugs.
Mm-hmm. Is there any other events you have? I mean, I know the answer to that. Of course there are, but is there any other ones that you want to plug before we're out of time on this segment?
Well, people can actually come to the marsh and just...
All right, thank you, Ainsley. If you're trying to plan out your Folk Fest weekend, check out this Your Morning Winnipeg contest. The 51st edition of Folk Festival runs July 9th to the 12th out at Birds Hill Park. Taking the main stage, Father John Misty, Lucy Dacus, Sylvan Esso, and Monsters and Men. And this is your chance to win 4 tickets and invite your family and friends to enjoy all 4 days of the Winnipeg Folk Festival with you. To enter, head to the contest page on our website, ctvwinnipeg.ca. Don't forget to enter the keyword happy. Good luck. As the dangers of social media for young kids become more clear, parents are looking for ways to keep their children safe while also allowing them to access the benefits of technology. As CTV's Kimberly Johnson reports, one Ottawa mother says she's found a solution.
What Teo Knight loves about his cell phone is being able to listen to his favorite music.
I just need headphones in my phone just to listen to my own music.
And while this Android phone may seem like any other, it's actually set up in a way that limits his access to certain content. No social media, no app store, and no internet browser. Just the ability to call, text, and access Spotify.
We want them to have access to music. We want them to be able to text us when soccer practice ends early. That doesn't mean that we want them watching endless videos off by themselves kind of thing.
He has a playlist that's for like his before soccer that pumps him up.
It's part of a pilot project started by parent Anne Fizette, which she has dubbed Boom Track.
I was just trying to figure out how can I create something that would satisfy him and what he needs in terms of like the developmental milestones that he's hitting, and at the same time protect him.
She purchased an Android phone and when setting it up used a management device on her computer to control what gets placed on the phone. It's similar to what workplaces will put on employees' phones to restrict some apps or abilities.
This isn't something incredibly new. It's just we haven't used it in terms of for kids.
Still, one tech expert warns the smartphone technology still exists under the surface of the phone, and parents should be cautious.
Any tech-savvy kid can go online and figure out how to bypass them and regain access to app stores and browsers and other features.
Today, Fizette says that she has nearly a dozen parents participating in the project. She's currently covering all of the setup costs, but hopes to expand this to a business if there's enough interest.
It feels like I'm actually part of everything and I'm not missing anything.
Kimberly Johnson, CTV News.
Montreal's Félix Auger-Aliassime is into the quarterfinals at the French Open.
That's excellent from Félix Auger-Aliassime.
Auger Aliassime won his round of 16 match in straight sets to book his spot in the quarters. This is the furthest he has gone in the tournament, and it may be his best chance yet to win a Grand Slam. Some of the top seeds have either sat out or were upset earlier in the Open. Félix Auger Aliassime is back in action tomorrow. Celebrating a milestone today. Happy 4th birthday, Lila. Love Papa, Nana, Uncle Johnny, Daddy, and Mommy. To submit your milestone, visit our website, ctvnewswinnipeg.ca, and fill out the form at least 2 days in advance.
Weather is brought to you by Mr. Lube Plus Tires. Same-day oil and tire changes.
29 degrees is where we're headed today, which delights me. I thought yesterday was a little bit cool at 26 degrees, but it was still above seasonal. Normal this time of year is 22. Last year we didn't even get there, 20 degrees, although 34.5. That was the record set all the way back in 2017. We're not looking at record-breaking temperatures by any means, but it will be warm, beautiful. I think I'm already overdressed. I can probably ditch the sweater the next time I come out here, but I should bring the sunglasses with me. You shouldn't leave home without the sunglasses or the sunscreen or even the hat, depending on how long you're going to be spending outdoors today, because it is going to be a warm one. 18 degrees right now with a very light breeze. That wind out of the east, 9 kilometers per hour. The pressure rising and the humidity sitting at 77%. Yeah, beautiful and bright. It feels a little bit muggy out here this morning, and we will very likely see some more active weather passing through much of southern Manitoba. Already it's just on the doorstep through southwestern Manitoba, where you're going to see the clouds building up, that chance of showers or thunderstorms, possibly severe ones. I'm just giving you that heads up. And that'll be especially through mid-afternoon through the southwest, whereas later into the day here in the evening, overnight especially, things get very active for southeastern Manitoba. Northern Manitoba, just a beautiful sunny one for you.
Thanks, Terry. Sleep apnea is a big problem for Canadians. It's estimated 1 in 5 adults in this country struggle with the condition. There are wait lists for people to get in on a sleep clinic to find out what exactly is causing their sleep apnea and how to solve it. A team of researchers at the University of Manitoba is working on a breakthrough that'll help screen for apnea in what may be a faster and more accurate manner. Joining us now with U of M's Price Faculty of Engineering Department are Professor Zara Moussavi and PhD graduate Walid Ashraf. Good morning to both of you.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for joining us. Now, describe to us what sleep apnea is and what typically causes it.
Go ahead, Walid.
Yeah, so basically sleep apnea, it's a sleeping disorder. It happens when people they are sleeping and then their airway suddenly narrows or shuts off. People, because they're the body needs oxygen, so the brain is awakened in order to restore the airway patency and the people to breathe out. So the brain is awakened, but consciousness is not. So when they wake up in the morning, they might not be aware that they have already awakened during the sleep, which may cause that they have morning sleepiness, and it can cause also some risk factor for accidents, and it has a lot of complications, mainly related to cardiovascular diseases and other complications.
Is snoring part of this equation as well, typically?
So snoring is a part, but it's not the whole story. So we can say that snoring can be a factor that we can observe. People who have sleep apnea may be snoring, but it's not the only factor that is contributing to sleep apnea.
Okay, so why do so many people struggle with this?
Go ahead. I can answer that too. Why so many people deal with it? Well, first of all, by aging, our muscles atrophies, and that's one of the main cause of airway collapse. It has so many association with so many other causes, but there are also people that anatomically they are more prone to sleep apnea. Smoking is one of the strong association with sleep apnea too. So it has many different causes that it can affect all age ranges, but most commonly for ages 50 plus. And the diagnostic and the treatment for sleep apnea, despite the fact that it is relatively easy to diagnose, it is not that readily available. Sleep studies is time consuming and requires an equipped sleep lab, like Misericordia Sleep Center, which has a long waiting list, as long as 1 year.
So we know there's a waiting list. So tell us about some of the research that you are working on and how it works to alleviate that wait list and get people the treatment they need quicker.
Yeah, I can start it and then I pass it to Wally. We have been working on this field since 2006. Initially, we started with simplifying sleep studies using respiratory sounds, breathing sounds, recorded over the trachea, over the neck. And then as of 2015 or so, we moved to detect screen sleep apnea during wake time while people are awake. And that has been the most challenging. Our team has been pioneer in that field. And we have had approved patents licensed on wakefulness sleep apnea screening. More recently, with Walid's work, we moved to not only screen sleep apnea, but also identify, we are claiming that we can identify the pathology of the sleep apnea, what contributes to the cause of sleep apnea, because that can shape the strategy of the treatment. Now, Walid, you may want to
You know what, we're out of time. We're going to have to leave it at that. So thank you so much for giving us an update on your research and good luck in your continued efforts.
Jermaine Franklin in the Sports Center newsroom with your must-see moment from Monday. And for it, we head to Edmonton. International friendly, Canada taking on Uzbekistan. Second half stoppage time, Canada up 1-0 off the turnover. Tani Alouasei slides it to Jaden Nelson, and he buries it. Nelson looking to grab the last spot on Canada's World Cup roster, and that is your must-see moment from Monday. And today on TSN, we've got quarterfinal action from Roland Garros. Coverage starts at 5 a.m. Eastern, 2 a.m. Pacific. That's all for now from the Sports Center newsroom. Have a great day.
The TSN must-see moment is brought to you by Super Blinds and Draperies, featuring Hunter Douglas products.
Tuesday, June 2nd, today, child death probe. A Manitoba family seeks answers after a 9-year-old dies following a sledding injury and hospital visits. Plus, session wraps. Manitoba spring sitting wraps after months of debate with a new PST break on prepared foods set for July the 1st. And Cup final opens. How many Manitobans are in the Stanley Cup final as the Hurricanes meet the Golden Knights in Game 1? Your Morning Winnipeg starts right now. Good morning, Manitoba. It's 8 o'clock on your Tuesday. Thank you so much for being with us here on your Morning Winnipeg. Now, if you missed it at 7 o'clock, we have a big announcement to share with you. Terry is leaving us.
Yes, I did make that announcement, 7 a.m., and just wanted to give you a heads up so that I didn't just, sneak off into the night. I'm not leaving immediately, but in a couple of weeks' time, that'll be my last day here as CTV. And perhaps my last day in television. I'm stepping out of the industry. I've got some new projects that I'm very excited to share with you. Not here, not now, but follow me online and I'll give you some updates when the time is right. But yeah, I am excited about the new chapter, and I just wanted to let you know that a new chapter is coming, and I hope that we can make this transition and enjoy the gorgeous weather along the way. That's one of the big things I'm going off for, is to enjoy some beautiful weather here in Winnipeg. 18 degrees, east winds, 9 kilometers per hour. The pressure rising, the humidity sitting at 77%. Yeah, don't think I'm leaving Winnipeg. I'm sticking around. Don't you worry. Who would want to go when it's looking as gorgeous as this? 18 degrees to wake up to. Beautiful temperatures right now, and very active weather here through the southwestern part of the province. That could get a little more intense later on today. The possibility of some thunderstorms, but a chance of severe thunderstorms, and that comes with the possibility of some very strong damaging winds, even some hail. So I've been saying keep an eye this afternoon. Check in with Colleen Brady. She'll have all the updates that you need, but things could get very, very intense in that southwestern corner, or even for us here in the southeast for later on into the evening or overnight. So this whole system is going to kind of pass on through, and we could find ourselves right in the path of it as well. Now, northern Manitoba, a little bit of precipitation, really nothing compared to the storms passing through the south until later on into the morning. And tomorrow, things could be looking a lot soggier across northern Manitoba. We still could be seeing some of that precipitation throughout the day tomorrow, and also some cooler weather to follow. Once all of this activity passes on through, things will be cooling down then for a couple of days, but not through the rest of this week, because the sunshine will be back by Friday and that heat coming back by the weekend. So a little bit of a ride that we're going to be on this week, and it begins with some storms later today. And our art today is a big thanks to 6-year-old Karis for beautiful coloring here, painting. We'd love to see more of it. Keep that art coming through our website, ctvnewswinnipeg.ca, and when you do, you'll be entered to win a $100 gift card from Crockadoodle on Kenniston.
The weather art of the day is brought to you by Crockadoodle. Spend quality time with loved ones and paint memories together.
A Manitoba family wants to know why their 9-year-old child died days after they say she broke her arm in a sledding accident. Relatives are questioning the treatment Mary Bull Sinclair received at the Dauphin Hospital.
Mary is going to rest in peace once justice is served for her.
9-year-old Mary Jonette Miley Bull Sinclair's family says she broke her arm in a tobogganing accident on March 16th. They say she was taken to Dauphin Regional Hospital, where her arm was placed in a sling and she was sent home. Her family says the pain was so severe she had to sleep sitting up. They say she returned to hospital days later, but was sent home again with Tylenol and Advil. On March 21st, the family says Mary's chest appeared discolored. An ambulance was called, but it was too late. Her loved ones are now speaking out, saying they want answers about her care.
Many First Nations families continue to report experiences where they feel their concerns have been minimized, dismissed.
In a statement to CTV News, Health Minister Uzama Azaguera says the medical examiner is conducting an in-depth autopsy. The RCMP is also investigating the circumstances surrounding Mary's death, and the children's advocate could review the case as well. The minister says out of respect for these investigations, it would be inappropriate to comment on the specific circumstances of Mary's care, saying, quote, "The death of a child is a tragedy, and we understand why Mary's family is seeking answers." Prairie Mountain Health says it does not comment on a patient's personal health information or care. The spring sitting at Manitoba's legislature is officially over, and MLAs are now off for the summer. The 3-month session featured plenty of political sparring, along with debates over affordability and a proposed social media ban. Starting July the 1st, the PST will be removed from prepared meals, snacks, and soft drinks sold at grocery and convenience stores. The NDP says the move will save the average family of 4 about $100 a year. The opposition says Manitobans need more help to deal with the rising cost of living. The legislature isn't set to resume until late in September. A child is in critical condition after a bouncy castle in Montreal was swept up into the air during a strong thunderstorm.
I seen this thing up high, at least 40 feet, I would say, and it was like just turning up in the air, and then all of a sudden it ended up all the way down there on the floor, so everybody ran to open it up because there were children inside.
It happened on Sunday at an annual community event in Park Willette. Environment Canada had issued a severe thunderstorm warning over the weekend for the Montreal area, warning of hail and strong wind gusts. 11 people were hurt, including that 3-year-old girl who was rushed to hospital in critical condition. The LaSalle Borough Mayor says they will now look into exactly what happened. Police are calling it the largest seizure of counterfeit soccer jerseys in Canadian history. And for fans, you may have bought a fake.
So folks are walking into retail stores thinking that they're buying an authentic piece of, say, a jersey or sporting equipment. They're paying full price as they would if it was authentic, but they're getting a fake counterfeit.
Toronto police seized some 16,000 fake jerseys and 2 World Cup trophies with a value of more than $3.5 million. According to police, the jerseys were being sold to legitimate retailers as authentic. Investigators say the items came from Amana Trading Company in Mississauga. Police conducted a search on May 26th, and 2 men were arrested. They're now facing multiple charges, including fraud over $5,000. They are scheduled to appear in court August 17th. The Carolina Hurricanes and Vegas Golden Knights square off in Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Final tonight, and there are plenty of Manitobans to root for.
Chased by Sebastian Aho.
Winnipeg's Seth Jarvis is playing in the Stanley Cup Final for the first time alongside teammate Jordan Martinook, who hails from Brandon. Meantime, Golden Knights captain Winnipegger Mark Stone is looking to lead his club to a second Stanley Cup win. He's joined by Oakbank's Brett Howden and Brandon's Keegan Colasar. Puck drop from Raleigh, North Carolina goes on at 7 o'clock Central. Here's a look at what's happening now on Donald Street. Things have picked up slightly in this part of the city, but overall moving quite well at this point. If you see any issues out there, please send us a text to let us know.
Traffic is brought to you by Mr. Lube Plus Tires. No appointment needed.
Back in 2018, Health Canada set a target that fewer than 5% of Canadians would be using tobacco by 2035. And progress was being made. But as CTV's Pauline Chan tells us, new products mean nicotine use is on the rise again.
Imperial Tobacco launched the first nicotine pouch in Canada in 2023. They used lifestyle advertising with happy young people in a social setting or in association with athletics, just like cigarette lifestyle advertising of the past.
So now, while tobacco use is declining, the Canadian Cancer Society says nicotine use is once again on the rise, especially in young people.
The overall trends in nicotine use are very discouraging. Among high school students in grade 12, Canada-wide, 27% are vaping. That is stunningly high.
They're asking health officials to set an additional target of under 5% nicotine use by 2045.
Part of the concern is that vaping products and nicotine pouches have become gateways to nicotine addiction. And once you're addicted, you might be addicted for life. You might be switching later to smoking or other tobacco products or to vaping.
Vaping is particularly high among teens and young adults. For nicotine pouches, it's people in their 20s.
As of 2022, we have 730,000 Canadians who vape who have never smoked. That's undoubtedly higher today.
The message is aimed at federal and provincial health authorities.
Across the country, we should have minimum age 21 for tobacco and e-cigarettes, as PEI has done. There should be a ban on promotional incentives and price promotions, as Nunavut has done. Smoke-free outdoor places in all provinces. A ban on online sales, higher tobacco taxes, fewer retail locations, and a national ban on flavors in e-cigarettes.
The Canadian Cancer Society says tobacco kills about 46,000 Canadians a year and is a leading preventable cause of cancer, stroke, heart disease, and more. Pauline Chan, CTV News, Toronto.
For kids who aren't old enough to drive a truck yet, this is the next best thing. Kids had the chance to pretty much do everything but drive at this weekend's Touch a Truck event in Navan near Ottawa. There were more than 40 trucks for kids to check out, from big rigs to tractors to military vehicles. The show aims to teach kids how big jobs get done with some hands-on learning. My dad had a big truck like that, so I always got to do that. It was always fun.
Right? I mean, the horns on them alone just sound so cool.
Yes, my kids loved it too.
Yeah, for sure. Sitting there, and the steering wheels are always really big, right?
And the seats are great and comfortable as well, which is hard to believe.
Yeah, great opportunity for them.
Yes.
And beautiful weather if you're headed outdoors too. Well, it really doesn't matter what it is that's going to get you outside. It is a gorgeous start to your morning, but it's feeling pretty warm already. We're looking now through the CTV Live Eye, brought to you by Bathfitter, exclusive home of the PermaFit solution. Blue sky and sunshine to kick off the morning, and yes, it's already quite warm. 21 degrees is where we're sitting. You factor in the humidity, it feels more like 25. So already peeling off the layers. I wore a little cardigan in, and I'm thinking that'll be stuffed in my backpack for the walk home, getting sweaty on my back. Across the province, these temperatures are likely to be above seasonal once again. It was a little bit cooler over in Brandon and Swan River this morning. You're now at 15 degrees, but earlier on you were at 9 degrees. Dauphin, who is at 18 now, was at 7 earlier this morning. So those gains are already being made in a very big way. Right up into northern Manitoba, some high teens. Churchill, you're the exception to all of the warmth that everybody else is experiencing. 3 degrees right now. It'll likely remain a little bit cloudy for you, and maybe a little bit of precipitation in that far northeast. Speaking of precipitation, way more active here in the southwestern part of the province with the showers or thunderstorms, possibly severe ones. And I've been saying, keep an eye out this afternoon. Colleen Brady will have all of your updates for you, but we could be looking at very active weather with maybe some hail, damaging winds are all a possibility with those storms. We're headed to a hot high of 28 degrees. And then later on into the evening, overnight, that chance of storms passing through for us here in the southeast. Continuing through tomorrow, slight bit of a cool down, then it heats up again for the weekend. Taking a break right now, but we'll be back with your Morning Winnipeg.
The sale of Allied Gold to China's Zijin Gold International has cleared another hurdle. The deal has been approved by Canada's Investment Canada Act. Zijin is offering $44 Canadian per share, valuing the acquisition at about $5.5 billion. India is seeking deeper uranium supply ties with Canada and is willing to purchase significantly larger volumes of the nuclear fuel to support its ambitious plans for expansion. India's High Commissioner to Canada, Dinesh Patnaik, indicated that New Delhi would be prepared to buy all the uranium that Canadian producer Cameco could supply, and was also interested in exploring investment opportunities in Canadian uranium mining projects. This according to the Calgary Herald. Anthropic PBC has confidentially submitted draft paperwork for a public listing, potentially leapfrogging longtime rival OpenAI in the race toward a Wall Street debut as soon as the fall. The number of shares to be offered and the price have not yet been set, the company said in a blog post on Monday. Those are your morning business headlines. For BNN Bloomberg, I'm Roger Peterson.
The Wildlife Haven Rehabilitation Center has so many baby bunnies right now, and staff say not all of them should be there. The nonprofit says while Manitobans' intentions are good, often the bunnies are not abandoned or orphaned, and bringing them in for care separates them from their mothers. Joining us now from Wildlife Haven is Amy Wilkie. Good morning, Amy.
Good morning.
Thanks so much for joining us. Now, this is typically a busy time of year for you, obviously, with spring bringing in lots of babies. How is capacity at the center right now?
Yeah, so we're seeing a huge increase in patients over the last few weeks, couple of months, a bigger increase than we've seen in the past years. We're already up just about 50% of patients from last year. So we're seeing a huge increase of animals coming in, which is taking a huge toll on our resources at the center here.
And not just, we're going to talk about the bunnies, but it's not just bunnies you're getting. What other animals are you seeing right now?
No, we're not just bunnies. I mean, bunnies are making up a large majority of them, but we're also getting all sorts of different baby animals. So we're starting to get the baby songbirds now. We were getting baby squirrels. We have a bunch of baby fox kits in our care. We even just recently got a orphaned pine marten, which is just the cutest little mammal. But we have tons of geese and ducks. We're getting pelicans, swans. We're getting all sorts of different species in our care right now.
Okay, so you have a lot of bunnies, and you're seeing that many of those bunnies shouldn't even be there. What are you seeing in terms of that?
Yeah, so this has happened year after year, but we're trying to really focus on educating people about what to do if you find a nest of baby bunnies to hopefully prevent them from coming into our care if they don't need to. But we'll find that people will see a nest of baby bunnies in their yard or in their garden, wherever, and they don't see a parent around, so they just scoop them right away and then bring them right to our center. And then when they get here, we do an exam and notice that they have a belly full of milk, meaning that the mom is coming back to feed them. So we always recommend for people to give us a call beforehand. Always call us before bringing the animal, and we'll be able to ask you some questions about the nest. We'll ask you to monitor them for at least a full day so that we can assure that the parent isn't coming back, because wild animals, especially a high-stressed animal like a rabbit, is going to have the best chance of survival if they're raised by their parents in the wild. So we want to ensure that as many of them can stay in the wild as possible.
And with bunnies, often the mothers leave because they have to for the survival of their little ones, right?
Yeah, so that's something a lot of people don't realize is that the mom only comes twice a day. She comes right in the morning and then right at night to feed them. And then otherwise she stays completely clear because she doesn't want to attract predators to her nest of vulnerable baby bunnies. So a lot of people assume that because there's not a mom on there 24/7 that they've been abandoned. So this is something that's a common mistake that we find people calling us about all the time. So the more people know about it, the less bunnies will come into our care that don't need to.
So when those bunnies do come in for care, even if they don't need to, it puts a lot of strain on resources. What does it take to feed and take care of bunnies like that?
Yeah, bunnies are one of the most intensive orphans that we get at our center. So depending on their age, they could require, 5 or 6, even maybe more feedings per day. So that's basically a dedicated staff member that is just feeding bunnies their entire shift from, start to finish, 8 hours long feeding the bunnies. And then it also is a lot of resources for our food that we have. So we're going through formula like crazy here. And then once they're old enough, we're feeding them greens, which means we're just having to purchase more of that food. So it's causing a lot of strain on our resources to care for all of these rabbits when they could be thriving in the wild with their mom.
Amy, we're almost out of time. When should you bring a bunny in?
You should bring a bunny in if you visibly see an injury. So if you can see blood, if it was caught by a cat, if you know for certain that the mother has been maybe killed or that the family has been abandoned. But always give us a call beforehand and we'll be able to give you all the advice on that.
Thank you, Amy.
Thank you.
Baby bunnies are like Gen X, just raising themselves, fending for themselves. Parents shows up, make sure there's food in the fridge, but after that, you're on your own. Figure it out. That was a great update. So yes, just let the bunnies be. They're probably going to be okay, and Mom will come on back for them. Out here in the sunshine, a beautiful start to your day. 21 degrees right now, but it feels like 25. Loving up this heat already. Southeast winds 17 kilometers per hour, so I'm glad that breeze increased as the temperatures are starting to climb now. Pressure rising and the humidity sitting at 73%. Beautiful, bright blue sky above. A stunning start to your day, and it's warmer than yesterday. I was complaining earlier about how cool yesterday felt. Even though it was an above seasonal day, we got up to 26 degrees, but there was a lack of sunshine. There was a bit of a breeze, and I was like, oh, I'm missing the heat. Well, that heat is back in a very big way. Up into the high 20s is where we're headed today here in southeastern Manitoba, and in northern Manitoba also up into the high 20s today with lots of sun shining over you. Where it'll be most active, southwestern Manitoba. You'll be the first to see more turbulent weather, perhaps showers, thunderstorms, possibly severe ones. That'll be for midday through the afternoon, and then into the evening overnight. Storms could pass through southeastern Manitoba as well. So just keep an eye and know that that's your heads up for the more active weather. It could linger overnight and into tomorrow with slightly cooler temperatures and a bit of a cool down through the latter part of the week. But the heat, it'll be back again, perfectly timed out for the weekend. How cute are these two? 2 of 4 little kids that Carrie's been watching. They live in her shed. How lucky is she? Thanks for sharing the photo. Keep them coming to Winnipeg Weather at CTV.ca.
Weather is brought to you by the Better Business Bureau. Research at bbb.org before you buy.
The Little Opera Company has 2 big shows coming up this weekend. Life, Love, and Longing, a musical cabaret, will delight fans of opera and musical theater. Soprano Sloan Smith is one of the singers taking the stage, and she joins us now. Good morning, Sloan.
Good morning. It's so lovely to be here this morning.
Thank you so much for being with us. Tell us how you came to be on this journey. How did you get to become an opera singer?
Well, when I was little, my mom got this subscription to this. It's called Met Opera on Demand, and I saw a production of Carmen with Alina Garancia and Roberto Alagna, and I was hooked. I was about 11 years old, and I knew that's what I wanted to be.
You've done some extensive training. You were born and raised in Lethbridge, but you came to Manitoba to learn about opera and how to sing for opera. Tell us a little bit about that experience.
I was just gung-ho in this. From the beginning, I was so excited, and I came here to audition, and I met Tracy Dahl, and that was sort of I knew I needed to be here if I got to study with her. She is the genuine article.
That's incredible, and congratulations congrats on that.
Thank you.
Now let's talk about the show itself. It's sort of a mix of all your favorite songs, right? Tell us about that.
Yeah, so this show is just a beautiful, just so many beautiful songs from different musical theater shows. Like we've got songs from Company, some songs from Wicked, which I'll be singing later today. You know, just Into the Woods. You know, lots of very beloved shows where I take some of the little tidbits of wisdom, and we get to put that together in a new sort of story to connect to audiences in a more connecting way. Yeah.
It's also a great way for audiences who might not always be exposed to opera to be exposed to it. So tell us a little bit about how the show is really available to everyone.
Yeah, so these are shows that instead of it being, you know, in different languages or from operas from a really long time ago, these are well-loved and well-known English musical theater songs sung by, you know, opera professionals, sort of to show that, you know, there is that sort of connection between the two art forms. There is so much interplay between us, the two different worlds, and we love musical theater.
That is amazing. Now, this show is called Life, Love, and Longing, a musical cabaret. It's happening Friday at 7:30 and Saturday night at the First Unitarian Universalist Church. Tickets are available as well online. We'll have a link on our website. You're going to perform for us right now, Slav?
Yes, I am. I'm going to sing oh gosh.
It's a Wicked song.
Yes, it's a Wicked song I'm going to be singing. It's the first song of the show. It's called Let Us Be Glad, and it's sung by Glinda. She comes down to the people of Munchkin Land and tells them the Wicked Witch is dead.
Okay, well, take it away.
Thank you so much. Let us be glad. Let us be grateful. Let us rejoice if that goodness could subdue the wicked workings of you know. Isn't it nice to know that good can conquer evil? The truth we all believe all by and by. Oh, to live for you.
What a voice. Here's a look outside at Confusion Corner right now. Things are moving well to start off your day. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Beautiful start to your morning, although it's already a little bit warm and muggy. 21 feels like 25 with just a breeze on the lighter side still. 17 clicks out of the southeast. The pressure is rising, the humidity sitting at 73%. You're probably going to notice it being a little bit muggy today, but also a lot warmer than it was yesterday. I shouldn't say a lot warmer, a few degrees warmer. Yesterday just seemed a little bit cooler because we had those heavier clouds and there was a little more of a breeze as well. Got those clouds. You can see them already through the southwestern part of the province. And then there come the storms. The storms already moving into that very southwestern part. A lot of it still in Saskatchewan, but that will all be pushing still into southwestern Manitoba. And we might see some of that later on into probably late afternoon or evening, or more definitely overnight. But those storms could get very active. So just be on the lookout this afternoon for some updates, because with severe storms, there's the possibility of heavy, strong, damaging winds, maybe even some hail. So just brace yourself for, you know, what summertime storms can be like. Anyway, we will enjoy the heat back again. 29 degrees. Well above seasonal. 22 is normal for this time of year. There will be a bit of a breeze out of the south at about 30 kilometers per hour. That'll remain in place as we fall just to 17 degrees. That activity continuing overnight and still throughout the day tomorrow. Slightly cooler tomorrow, 23 degrees. After all of that precipitation passes through, it'll dry up again by Thursday. Just drier, sunnier conditions by Friday, but a little bit cool to finish off the week. But that heat is coming back again, perfectly timed out for the weekend.
Thank you, Terry. Summer is almost here, and for many that means the lawnmower is coming out. But one Winnipeg man says he won't be cutting the grass on his nearby boulevard.
I decided that the only way that left in my hands is to protest, and this is my protest. This is my way to protest.
Alex Hames has lived in Bridgewater since 2008 next to what he calls a botanical garden, saying he hasn't mowed the boulevard in some time. He blames the city, saying heavy construction equipment left the ground uneven and compacted. He says he doesn't have the equipment to fix it. And even if he did, he says it shouldn't be his responsibility.
City expect me to mow the lawn when there is uneven ground, like from here to here.
Hames says he contacted his counselor in 311, but says nothing has been done to level the boulevard. He says once it's fixed, he'll mow it. After speaking with CTV News, Hames says a City of Winnipeg bylaw enforcement officer served him with a notice of inspection over the overgrown grass. New hope of better treatments for one of the deadliest types of cancer. Researchers in the U.S. have reported a novel pill helped people with advanced pancreatic cancer live longer. The findings, published in the New England Journal of Medicine, say the drug blocks a mutated protein which fuels tumor growth in more than 90% of pancreatic cancer cases, a target which has eluded treatment for decades. The daily pills nearly doubled survival time with fewer severe side effects in a study that randomly assigned the experimental drug or more chemotherapy to 500 patients whose cancer had quit responding to prior treatment. Canada Post workers have accepted a new contract ending a years-long labor dispute. The union, representing about 55,000 workers, says employees voted more than 85% in favor of the new 5-year deal. It includes wage increases of 6.5% and 3% in the first 2 years. It also locks in hikes that match the annual inflation rate in years 3 through 5. In a statement, Canada Post thanks Canadians and businesses for their patience, saying it will work hard to regain their trust after several disruptions to service. The Bank of Canada is urging caution against concluding the country is in a recession, even though the most recent data points to that term. And while several economists won't declare it formally, the health of our economy was the subject of a heated debate on Parliament Hill. CTV's Abigail Beeman reports.
My work is done. Mark Carney tried his hand at a home building site, but didn't weigh in on a recession. Statistics Canada reported Friday Canada's economy contracted slightly for 2 straight quarters. The Prime Minister has not yet taken questions from journalists nor opposition.
This is an emergency in the lives of people who have empty fridges, empty stomachs, and empty bank accounts. And they expect the Prime Minister, who promised that he was a great economic genius, to get in here and explain how he managed to be the only leader in the G7 to cause a recession.
The opposition leader's request for an emergency debate was denied by the Speaker of the House for not meeting the requirements, while other ministers were left to answer in question period.
Canada is the most integrated country in the world with the United States. They have declared a trade war on us. This side of the House understands that. We will control what we can control.
The leader of the opposition should stop running down Canada and join us.
It's the Liberal Prime Minister that's running down our economy and then running away from accountability for it. Where is he anyway?
With other Liberals asked, not all on the same page in terms of messaging.
I do know that people in my riding are hurting. So I listen to people talk about housing prices. I listen to people talking about food prices and about incomes that are too low. And so that's what we're working on here.
All indications are that it's shallow and that we're coming out of it. I believe them.
I think we need to be careful not to put too much weight in any one indicator.
The Bank of Canada also downplaying recession talk Monday.
Simply the fact that you have to put the term technical in front of it sort of tells you that you need to really look past that one indicator.
Carolyn Rogers says the Bank of Canada will take all the latest data into account as it meets later this week to discuss the next interest rate announcement set for June 10th. Abigail Beeman, CTV News, Ottawa.
Here's a look at traffic now along Main and Broadway. Things appear to be moving well over here. Let's look now at your gas prices. In Winnipeg, the average is $1.60. It's a slight drop from yesterday. And the lowest price in the city is $1.49. All this information is on GasBuddy.com.
The Price at the Pump is brought to you by the Kidney Foundation. Help by donating your card today.
It's time now for your answers to our question of the day. We wanted to know, when was the last time you had to wait in line? Lyndon shared in 1978. I, together with several hundred others, lined up for 3 days at Gatwick Airport, UK for tickets for the Laker SkyTrain. Unc D says, when Home Hardware opened on Pembina, I was the first customer in line. Linda lined up for the opening of Disney's movie Bambi. This is her first memory of lining up, not her last though. Marlene stood in line for Harry Potter ride in Florida and to buy a Tamagotchi toy for her kids. And a viewer shared a wait in line every time at Costco. Thank you so much for your responses.
Question of the day, brought to you by Provivo, Manitoba's #1 cool sculpting clinic. Science-backed body contouring.
Let's go back now to Ainsley McPhail, who's live at Oakhammock Marsh this morning. Lots to take in there throughout the year, but especially fun during the summer. Hi, Ainsley.
Hi, good morning. We were thinking about going into the water and, getting on the canoe, but after yesterday's debacle along the Red River when I dropped the phone into it, we're not going to do that. We're going to stay safe. We're going to talk about birds. Jacques, welcome back to the show. What is this contraption?
Well, basically, we have a special walk at the end of the month on the 27th where people can learn how to recognize birds by their call. I mean, for example, some birds are pretty easy, like these ones here, the killdeer. It says its own name. It go killdeer, killdeer, killdeer. That's an easy one. The little chickadee, same thing. It says chickadee, dee, 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 dee. But some birds you often hear, but you can't really find them. Like these ones here, it says you can hear that every spring. Like people, what's that bird that goes toot, toot, toot? And that's the one. It's actually a white-throated sparrow. So again, pretty hard to see, but you always hear it. Same with this little guy, found in the marsh here. It's called a sora, and it goes like very loud. But you can never see those guys because they're so secretive. And again, we have special tools. We can actually try to put these on and see what the bird sounds like. You basically aim at different species and be able to hear the birds
it looks
without
like
even seeing them. Yeah, so it's actually pretty cool.
I said it looks like Back to the Future. This is awesome. This is maybe a silly question, but what do you do when they're chatting with each other? How do you decipher when you're hearing all these sounds?
Well, it's a question of trying to understand their behavior more so than their chatter, right? So if it's a little warning call, you can, give them some space. If they're just calling in the morning, it's because they're trying to call a mate. So you have to understand what they're trying to say in their behavior.
Yeah. And people can, get these questions answered for themselves when they come to the marsh. Lots going on in the next couple of months.
Yeah, and the segment we couldn't do because of the marsh actually is pretty fun too. It's on the 17th. We get to go and paddle in the marsh at night for 2 hours with the guide. So you get to see the unknown. Like the marsh is huge, like 36 square kilometers. So you get to explore some of the areas that people don't often get to see very often. So that's a fun way to explore the marsh. But also we have lots of birding walks, birding breakfast, little things for kids as well. So there's many ways to explore the marsh.
Jacques, thank you so much. I'm going to go grab some of that breakfast and not look directly into the sun.
I knew that's what you were going to do after this. Thank you, Ainsley. Let's go out to the rooftop now. It's a beautiful sunny day. I can't wait to get outside to enjoy the heat.
Oh my goodness, you're gonna love this, Rochelle. It feels so good already, warm already, which means that later on this afternoon might get a little bit too toasty for some. I am loving this app. These morning hours are always the most perfect part of the day, aren't they? 21 degrees right now. Feels like 25 with that humidity factored in, and just a light breeze, a 17K wind out of the southeast this morning. The pressure is rising. The humidity sitting at 73%. It is going to be a warm one today, warmer than yesterday, although the difference is definitely with the sun beating down on me. Yesterday, we got up to 26 degrees, which is obviously a lot warmer than where we are right now at 17 or 21. No, we're at 21 right now, sorry. We were warmer yesterday, but it did not feel like this. This is delightful, soaking up these sunny rays. Now, we could be getting soaked later on today with the more active weather moving in. Southwestern Manitoba will be the first to see the storms, showers, thunderstorms, possibly severe ones. Keep your eye on the sky for later this afternoon, or keep your eye on CTV for the updates. We've got some more turbulent weather probably into the evening overnight, not necessarily through the afternoon, but it will likely roll over us at some point. And then a bit of a cool down will follow that. So if you don't like the heat, just wait a couple days. We're taking a break. We'll be back with your morning Winnipeg.
Weather is brought to you by Blinds Are Beautiful. Our new Hunter Douglas showroom is at 900 Lorimer.
Have a news tip? When you see news happening, let CTV News Winnipeg know. Text your tips, pictures, and videos to 10400. That's 10400. Message and data rates may apply.
Good morning. How hyped are Canadians about the World Cup? More than 46,000 fans showed up on a cold and wet day in Edmonton to watch Canada take on Uzbekistan in a tune-up game.
Osorio drives it in! Jonathan Osorio with the goal to give Canada the lead in Edmonton.
Canada opened the scoring in the second half when Jonathan Osorio scored from the right box. Team Canada added another goal in stoppage to seal the 2-0 win. There was one moment of concern when Moise Bombito limped off the pitch at halftime with his left leg wrapped with ice. The team said it was a precaution since it was only 11 degrees and the pitch was wet from 2 days of rain. Canada has one more tune-up game left on Friday against Ireland in Montreal.
Have you ever dreamed of owning a castle? Well, one Canadian socialite is living that dream in the United Kingdom. Anne Kaplan Mulholland is transforming her medieval castle in Kent into a world-class hotel destination, and you can watch her vision come to life on season 2 of Queen of the Castle, available now on Crave and CTV Life. Anne Kaplan Mulholland joins us now. Good morning, Anne.
Good morning.
Now, simply turning a 945-year-old castle into a luxury hotel and event space can't be easy. What did you learn in season 1?
I learned that everything that you do at a castle, because it's a grade 1 listed building, which means basically you have to have everything approved, including putting a nail in the wall. So I learned a lot, and I learned how to navigate the waters so I could get things approved. So I do things, but I do them within the rules, and we get a lot more done that way.
Now, season 2 is out now. What can viewers expect this time around?
Well, just the usual things that you would do in a castle, like strippers and fashion shows and dogs getting married, you know, the usual stuff that somebody would tune in for a castle renovation show.
Tell us about some of these renovations that you've already done and maybe some of the ones people can expect to see in season 2.
So really fun renovations in season 2. We open up the market. So we've taken down these stables, and you can't change things in England. You have to leave buildings where they are. So it's difficult, but as I said, you navigate the water. So we took the stables down, we rebuilt them with heated floors, and we opened up a market. And then we took an old shed. So this is an idea someone could do for their sheds in Canada or in Winnipeg, is you take your shed, you take all of the stuff like the shovels and everything out, and you make it into a French cafe. And we did what people could do with their sheds in Canada. Make it into a French cafe that sells ice cream with bacon and cherries on top. And there you've got it, Le Carve Cafe.
And of course, this isn't just a renovation show. You're hosting events like garden parties, weddings. What sets these celebrations apart?
So in the garden parties, it's not an ordinary garden. Of course, we have 145 beautiful acres of land where the castle sits on looking over the English Channel, but we've got gardens that we can do things with. So we have topiary horses jumping out of the gardens. We have mazes. We have a large area, a couple acres where we have a vegetable farm, and if you put a drone over it, it's in the shape of a Union Jack. That's what differentiates our gardens. And the weddings, well, you have many places you can choose to get married in, but who wouldn't want to get married in a fantasy castle? And all of the weddings are that princess bride that wants to get married in the castle of her dreams. So that's the differentiator.
And what can guests expect when the hotel opens for the first time this summer?
Oh my goodness. The hotel, all of the rooms are decorated differently, and they have different names. For example, we've got one room that's called a room for a night. And you go in the room and there's a night embroidered on the bedspread with velveteen sides. The walls are all stone and wood. You're inside a medieval castle. But in the corner, there is a knight in shining armor with a lampshade that actually works on its head sitting there. There's quirky, there's fun. It's like Freddie Mercury decided to decorate a castle and no one said no.
And what's something you've learned about living in the United Kingdom that you can share with our guests?
The United Kingdom is very, very interesting. It's very political, very different than it is in Canada, even though I know the politics are the top of the news right now. But it has had change of government many times, which means there's change of regulations. So the difference in the UK is that you never know what's to expect for a change. And so you have to work around that, and you have to move fast, even though the system moves slow. And the Brits, well, they love to line up for everything, and they have a very, very quirky sense of humor. And all these words that they use, like bangers and mash and Scotch eggs and things like bum bags and that, what's that trunk called? You put it in the boot. Those kind of things, I don't get it, because I don't know what they're talking about. And who would order bangers and mash, and it comes out to the table and it's a bunch of sausages with mashed potatoes? Like, I don't get their taste, but go ahead, they can eat it.
Well, viewers here can watch Queen of the Castle Season 2 in its entirety on Crave, and new episodes are airing weekly on CTV Live. Thank you so much for joining us, Anne.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Well, Terry, in case people missed it, we just want to make sure they know that you have some news to share with everyone this morning.
Yeah, I did make an announcement earlier this morning that I'm going to be leaving CTV in a couple of weeks' time, so not immediately. This is not my last goodbye by any means, but I am so grateful to everyone who has allowed me into their home. They chat with me in the grocery store. I meet them in the parks when I'm out walking. Everybody is so kind. And to the crew, who's so kind. But I tell you that all the time.
Yeah.
And then Kim was like, what? You guys just rag on me all day long. She's wrapping me in my hair right now.
We have the best team.
We do have the best team. This has been the most incredible career job. Like I said, this isn't my last goodbye, so I'm sure I'm going to take a moment and say all of those things that I'm going to need to say in a couple weeks' time. June 12th, mark your calendars. I'll be back here for my end, and that will be the final time. But for now, I'm just looking forward to getting outside after the show, enjoying this gorgeous weather. Oh my goodness, is it ever lovely. 21 degrees, 25 is what it feels like with a 17K wind out of the southeast. Pressure rising, humidity at 73%. Pretty clear across the province. Here's where the activity is. That's where the activity will be midday through the afternoon, and then by evening time overnight, we could start to see that as well. So chance of showers or thunderstorms, that'll continue overnight and into tomorrow. You're going to notice a bit of a cool down following all of that to the more seasonal temperatures. By the way, 22 is normal, but we're not going to stay there for long. The heat is coming back. The sunshine will be back by the end of the week, and that'll warm us up big time for the weekend. Taking a break right now, but we'll be back with your Morning Winnipeg.
Rooftop arrangements provided by Lacoste Garden Center. Salon services provided by Essentique Spa Salon.
Okay, before we say goodbye, we're going to show you some fun video. This is a brand new way to decide which last name to use when you get married. These two newly united families rolled up their sleeves in battle of the surnames, including a tug-of-war competition. The couple, Brett and Jenny, could not decide which of their last names to take, so made their families decide through various competitions at their reception. Other games included sack racing to booty shaking.
My husband's family is ridiculously competitive, which is why I'm a Gail.
And it's perfect for what you've been doing for a living. And from sweating it out at that wedding reception to working out at the office. Check this out. These employees at Fitness World Canada exercise in their office, using their desks and chairs as equipment. And as you can see, doing some of those popular Pilates moves. They say that taking workout breaks is part of the job. Yeah, they have equipment though. They work for a gym. And then finally, a little therapy for a furry friend.
Oh, this is so good for the spine for a long back dog.
He does love it. Nostradamus is a 5-year-old boy, Zoe, who is enjoying his aquatics therapy. Watch as he sways back and forth in the water with his trainer. It's apparently good for dogs with long backs, just like this big boy.
Aww.
That does it for us. Have a wonderful day. We'll see you tomorrow.